Welcome into the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center here in Mankato, Minnesota. My name is Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network, here calling this Bowling Green hockey game against the University of Minnesota State. Before we get started, if you want to check out all BGSU athletic sports news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter. And on our YouTube channel, we post our rebroadcast video content and highlight packages as well. So follow the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel and like the videos that you view. The Falcons fell to the Minnesota State Mavericks yesterday by a final score of 4-1. It was a pretty solid game for the Falcons. Minnesota State, number 13 in the nation in RPI and number 15 in the nation ranked by sports writers. So pretty solid team. The Falcons had a pretty good game against them yesterday, but did end up falling in 3 scores. I'll give you the rundown of that game first. So in the first period, BG held a lot of puck possession early. The first 10 minutes or so, they held a majority of the puck's possession, and it was even. There was no scores until Adam Isley with his first goal, 7:49 into that first period, an even strength goal assisted, and Adam Zonka tied it back up with 10 minutes left in that game, both on breakaway attempts from both sides. And then Brian Carabas later in that first period. I'm sorry, I just got some information on the lineup today. Brian Carabas later in that first period scored a goal past Colmore through the 5-hole. It was pretty much a one-on-one in the zone on a little bit of a breakaway. Colmore should have stopped it, but nevertheless, it made the score 2-1 heading into the first intermission. And then before that, spurned by the Brian Carabas goal, MSU had a 3-minute dominant puck possession. Really just looked like the Falcons were on a penalty kill. But MSU didn't surrender the puck directly following that goal, gave them a lot of momentum going into that second period, which the Falcons defense did a very good job at stifling. It was pretty even through the second period until a penalty from Gustav Stjernberg prompted a Luke Ashton wrist shot power play goal, 5:46 into that second period. That was the only score actually in that second period, but what it did is it allowed Minnesota State to play 2 men back almost at all times, and they didn't allow any Bowling Green breakaways, which was key for Bowling Green because they got their only goal of the game on a breakaway attempt. So they played 2 men back, didn't allow any breakaways, and the Falcons not able to light the lamp for the rest of the game. Much of the puck times was spent in the center of the ice for both teams. The Falcons did a good job of keeping it out of their own end, but Minnesota State did a good job of keeping it out of theirs. A lot of dump and go for a change for both sides. And then we headed into the second intermission. In the third, the Falcons came out with more of an offensive pressure, a lot of offensive pressure, but MSU continued to play 2 men back, just dumping the puck out of the zone with their 2-goal lead, just trying to hold on to it. And then eventually they had an offensive stand and scored a 5-on-5 Caden Bolson goal with about 15 minutes left to play in the third. It was a 5-on-5 offensive stand, the only goal of the game really that came from a setup play in the zone, pass it around. I think all 5 guys on the ice for the Mavericks touched the puck, and Caden Bolson with a slap shot on the near side put it right past Colmore and essentially put the game away. The Falcons didn't even pull Colmore before the end of the game. There was only about 5 minutes left, and they needed 2 goals to really make it worth it to pull Cole. So that is how the game was finished, 4-1 final score here in Mankato. MSU, by the ranking and in general, they are a better team than the Falcons, but they are beatable, as we saw yesterday, if you play clean and you keep it at least a 1-score game for the entirety of the game. Minnesota State took advantage of every opportunity that they had. They capitalized on them almost perfectly. They were 1 for 1 on the power play. They finished 1 for 2 in that first power play attempt. They capitalized on it off of Stjernberg when they really needed to. That ended up being, it wasn't the game winner, but that kind of put the game on ice, so to speak. And that power play goal by Luke Ashton on the second, or one of 2 power play attempts on the game for Minnesota State. Bowling Green can't allow extra opportunities for Minnesota State. That's going to be huge for the Falcons in trying to win this game, or at least hanging in within a goal. And they have to finish on opportunities that they are given, both on power plays and on breakaways as well. Minnesota State's a team that will hold you off. Their defense is fantastic. Their defensemen are absolutely lights out. Alex Tracy is the best goaltender in the nation, according to statistics. So the Falcons need to take every opportunity they can and make the most of it, and that's going to give them the best chance to win this game, or at least take points. Puck possession will be huge as well, winning faceoffs, which the Falcons did not do very well yesterday. They lost the faceoff battle to Minnesota State, who is the worst faceoff team in the CCHA. The Falcons are the best faceoff team in the CCHA. They weren't allowed to get a lot. They weren't able to get a lot of puck possession off the faceoffs, and when they had puck possession, they played very well. When they didn't, and they surrendered some of that in the second and third period, Minnesota State started to dominate a little bit more and didn't allow the Falcons to get back in the game. So winning faceoffs is going to be big. It's going to help that Ethan Scardina is back in the lineup. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but Scardina served out a game suspension yesterday, wasn't in the lineup. One of the main reasons that the faceoff battle wasn't won by the Falcons because Lurkeberg had to be that fourth line center, had 8 attempts and only won 2. So Scardina being back in the lineup as the best faceoff man is going to be big for the Falcons today. There wasn't a lot of penalties in yesterday's game either, which was very refreshing to see from the Falcons, and there's 2 aspects to this. One, there was no penalties. There wasn't a lot of power play opportunities. Minnesota State did capitalize on their 1, but they only had 2 on the game, with the other penalty being an offset between Quinn Emerson and Caden Bolson, I believe, later in the game. That was still an even strength opportunity 4-on-4. But there wasn't a lot of penalties, and that was great to see from the Falcons. And what we're going to see today, I believe, is going to be Willie being more aggressive on the forecheck and on the boards as well. They didn't hit a whole lot yesterday. They didn't check a lot aggressively, and I think Willie is a guy that likes to forecheck. He likes to play without the puck. He likes to hit. He likes to finish checks. The Falcons didn't do a whole lot of that yesterday. That's going to be remedied today by Willie, but when you do that, you're going to get some penalties as well. So I'm anticipating that penalties on both sides are going to go up a little bit, but the Falcons are going to be more aggressive, maybe turn over some pucks, and that's how they free pucks out on breakouts as well. So the forecheck and the boards, will look for that to be an aggressive part of the game today. And the Falcons just in general, trying to force a physical game. MSU likes to play, like if you're familiar with the Big Ten or the NCHC and how they play, we played Ohio State and Western Michigan earlier in the season. They don't hit a whole lot. They don't play a very physical game, but the CCHA does. MSU likes to play like those teams that don't play a physical game. The Falcons need to force them to play their game, to play more physical, to play with uneven strength. That's going to be big for the Falcons today. Make MSU play into your hands in their home barn. So we'll go through the lineup sheets real quick today. It's the same lineup for Minnesota State. Rhett Pitlick, Josh Grohl, and Caden Bolson, the first line. Josh Grohl, the center and the captain of the team. Brett Moravec, Adam Isley, and Brian Carabas, the high-scoring second line for Minnesota State. Most of the production is going to come between those first 2 lines of forwards. The third line, Zach Kranick, Luigi Benincasa, and Luciano Wilson. Not as much production, but hold on to the puck a lot. That's essentially, it's the third line, but it's got the 4th most playing time behind that 4th line that is starting today. Jacob Stender, Will Hillman, and Finn Williams. Williams is not starting. Brendan Olson, the extra skater, will start in place of him on the right wing. That 4th line is the line that we saw a lot in the game at the end yesterday because they hold on to the puck a lot. Not a whole lot of scoring between them. Will Hillman, the highest scorer, with only 5 points on the season. Finn Williams has yet to get one. Jacob Stender has 1 goal on the season. Brendan Olson only has 2 points, but they hold on to the puck a lot. They're quite defensive forwards, and they play a lot. They want to start the tone they want to start with the right tone today. That's why they have that 4th line out. And Brendan Olson is one that definitely plays a physical game and likes to play on the boards as well. The defensive lines for Minnesota State, Mason Wheeler and Campbell Psychos, the first line and the starters of the defensemen. Luke Ashton scored a goal yesterday. He's joined with Jordan Power today, the left and the right defenseman on the second line, and Ralphsburg Manis and Evan Murr, the quite defensive final line for Minnesota State. One of the best defensive crews in the CCHA, I believe, pretty similar to Bemidji State's, if any of you have watched Bemidji State play hockey recently, and it really helps that their goaltender is starting again today. Alex Tracy, who's played every single game for Minnesota State this season. 11-4-2, 1.35 goals allowed per game, a .947 save percentage, and 3 shutouts on the season. He's been absolutely fantastic. He's 6-1-2 in the CCHA, and between that and the incredible defense of Minnesota State, it's going to be a tough break for the Falcons today and try and take points in the CCHA. On the side of the Falcons, a little bit of changes today, and one main one happening between the first and the second line. The first line, as we know, has been O'Hara, Duran, and Waters for a while. Ryan O'Hara and Ben Duran are still the left and the centerman for the Falcons on that first line, but Quinn Emerson has stepped into that top line, kicking Brody Waters down to the second, where he plays with Max Martin and Ethan Scardina, again back from his suspension yesterday. Scardina, the captain, along with Ryan O'Hara on the first line. The third line is going to be Brett Foe, Jaden Grant, and Matvey Kabanoff, playing a full line today. No extra forward for him as he was yesterday. Jackson Niedermeyer, Ville Imonen, and Adam Zonka, the final line. I kind of like that line. Niedermeyer quite defensive, Imonen as well. Adam Zonka had the first goal of his college career, and in the orange and brown yesterday, he had a very impressive game, earned his way back into the lineup, and he's on the fourth line today. I really like that second line. Max Martin, Ethan Scardina, and Brody Waters. Waters is the cleanup guy. Max Martin's great on breakaways, and Ethan Scardina is about as defensive forward as you can get, along with that captain energy that he brings, the leader on the ice, and the face-off man as well. A lot of puck possession is going to come from that third line. A couple of breakaways probably from Maxwell Martin, who plays a complete 200-foot game, and Brody Waters is the cleanup man out on the blue paint. He does a fantastic job and is the leading scorer for the Falcons, tied with Ryan O'Hara in points, but he's got 6 goals, the most of any Bowling Green player. I like that line. I like the fourth line, but the second line is going to start today for Bowling Green, and that'll parlay us into Pick the Stick. We'll talk about that in a few moments. Ben Wozni, Breck McKinley, the first line of defensemen. Eric Parker, Gustav Stierenberg, the second line. Dalton Norris and Tommy Passanen, the third line. Jack Blake was on the lineup but was scratched before the game started, so Brandon Santuano will be the extra skater as a forward today for the Falcons, and Cole Moore, of course, starting in goal for Bowling Green. Stierenberg and Parker will get the start as the defensemen. Martin, Scardina, and Waters will get the start as the forwards. So, getting into Falcon Media Sports Network, Pick the Stick. Lucas Kleinmeyer chose Ben Duran today, the first line centerman. He thinks for the same reason that he chose him yesterday, he's due for a goal. He's due for a point, of course, in the Pick the Stick. 1 point per goal, half a point per assist. We'll total them up, tell you who wins at the end. Lucas Kleinmeyer has 2 wins on the season, the most of any of us. He chose Ben Duran today with a new look first line. I'm sorry, I read the wrong thing. Lucas Kleinmeyer chose Ethan Scardina today, the second line. He says he's going to come out with a vengeance. I apologize for that. I chose the wrong player. Lucas chose Ethan Scardina. Says he's going to come out of the suspension with a vengeance. Only 2 points on the season, 1 goal, 1 assist. But the captain in that second line with Max Martin and Brody Waters is a point at least waiting to happen for all of those guys. And that'll be the theme through the rest of our selections. Tyler Kavlitz, our production director, chose Brody Waters today, the right winger, the highest scoring player on the team. He's got a new look, and with Scardina and Martin, that's an impressive line. And Tyler Kavlitz thinks Brody Waters is going to be the one to fill one today. Nathan Burkett, back in the booth running the board for us today, chose Maxwell Martin, the left winger on that second line. He's a high-powered forward, 3 goals, 2 assists, and 5 total points on the season. He's a good left winger, a lot of breakaway chances, played a good game yesterday. Thinks he's going to get a point with Scardina and Brody Waters today. And then my selection today, I'm going to drop down to the third line of forwards. I'm going to choose Brett Foe, 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points. The third highest scorer on the team, second highest goal scorer, tied with Maxwell Martin. I think Brett played a very good game yesterday. He's key on breakaways for the Falcons, and hopefully he'll light the lamp today. The Falcons are going to need a lot to do it, going to need some outstanding defense as well before the Falcons face off against Minnesota State here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. We're going to take a step back and run you some promos while we get some things sorted out here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Falcon Radio.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Falcon Radio.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Falcon Radio 88.1 WBGU HD2 Bowling Green, Ohio.
My name is Dr. Tony Fauci here at the National Institutes of Health. If you've recovered from COVID-19, your plasma has antibodies that may help others fight COVID. Please donate plasma now. You can literally save lives. There are thousands of locations across the country where you can donate. Find the site to donate your plasma at coronavirus.gov.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services at taxpayer expense.
BGSU hockey plays the second game of a weekend series in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan against the Lake Superior State Lakers on Saturday, January 4th. Catch Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
In Bowling Green football's 41-17 season opening victory over Fordham on August 29th, junior Justin Pace set a program record with a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus had the call on Falcon Radio.
Go back up and field it on the goal line. Trying to take it to the right, got some blocks, got a hole. Peg was down the far sideline, and he's got space in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown BG brings back the opening kickoff. What a way to start the season.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Actress Allison Sweeney for American Humane.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring and humane world for all of us.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Women's basketball and the Marquette Golden Eagles face off in the Stroh Center on Wednesday, December 18th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Caden Knapp and Foster Rostai starting at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU men's basketball kicks off road MAC play in Kalamazoo against the Western Michigan Broncos on Tuesday, January 7th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon hockey returns to Slater Family Ice Arena to face Northern Michigan on Friday, December 13th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Nathan Burkett at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Falcon men's basketball returns to the Stroh Center for a matchup with St. Thomas on Saturday, December 21st. Falcon Media Sports Network's Andrew Smith will have the call starting at 1:45 for pregame and 2 p.m. for tip-off on Falcon Radio.
Back here in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center, Bowling Green Hockey just faced off against Minnesota State. We apologize for the technical difficulties a few moments ago. Still no score, 17-15 left to play in the first period. Bowling Green and MSU on the attack now. Minnesota State in the zone, taken away by Brody Waters, who's on the second line today. Pass across, just long for Martin. Now Martin collects it, taking it all the way in, working in, and the defensemen take it away by Minnesota State with Scardina on the forecheck now. Over into the middle. That's Finn Williams. Finn Williams takes it out. Breakaway here on the right side. Wrist shot over into the center, caught and dropped at his feet. Jacob Stender turns it back around, and it clears out the blue line. The Falcons will reset their defense. Now turning in, Gustav Stjernberg will come up with this, playing in the second game back after a 4-game miss. This pass is a little bit long. Isley with the puck now, trying to cross it over into the center. The shot is saved, still on the doorstep, kicking it around in the front, and it's far and away on the near side. Power with the puck now, defenseman for Minnesota State, and it will clear outside the blue line. The Falcons with a miracle there to get it away, as it was just tumbling there on the blue paint for Bowling Green. Crossover into the center, shot from Ben Duran, and he scores! Ben Duran opens up scoring. Lights the lamp in the first period, 16-11 left to play, and the Falcons take a 1-0 lead. Wrist shot from Ben Duran. Oh, what a goal. On the left side of Alex Tracy. Just put it past him. What a start for the Falcons. 3:46, the time of the score. Assisted by Quinn Emerson and Ryan O'Hara, that first line. The first to get a point today. O'Hara now the leading scorer for the Falcons, as there's a drive by Caden Bolson in, and the cross, and Minnesota State answers right away with their own goal. Caden Bolson with the pass. Didn't see who got the goal, but as I was figuring out who the assisters were, it's Rhett Pitlick who's leading the charge in the high five line, assuming it's him. Breakaway cross, a 2-on-1 with the defenseman, got it across to Pitlick, who gets his 6th goal of the season, and we're back to square one. Dump back down into the zone. Eric Parker giving chase. 4:04 the time of that score. 6th goal of the season for Rhett Pitlick, the transfer from Wisconsin. Puck over into the center. Cross over, another shot. And Cole Moore saved there from Caden Bolson. Bolson with the first assist. Falcons with the puck now, taking it up. Pass out to the far wing. Adam Zonka with the puck. He'll ice it back down into the neutral zone. Jackson Niedermeyer with the puck, turns it over. Villa Imonen with a shot, and it goes high up into the netting off of the skate of the defenseman. Bolson, the only assister on the Rhett Pitlick goal a second ago. 20 seconds, just under the time between the first goal by Ben Duran and the second by Rhett Pitlick. It's Bolson's second point of the weekend. Rhett Pitlick's first. He's up to 14 points, tied with Brian Carabas for the most on the team, both with 6 goals and 8 assists. Bergmanis with the puck now, third line defenseman, taking it around, trying to work it back outside the blue line, but the Falcons with it. Brody Waters battling in and behind. Clears out to Murr. Murr turns it back around. Good pass up. It'll get it to Kranick. Kranek is the first back down into the zone. Luigi Bedingkaza takes it away from him. Waters pressing him up against the far side right corner boards. Falcons striking right to left across the radio dial. Evan Murr with the puck now working to his right. Good stick work from the defenseman at the goal line. Crossover into the slot, and it's taken away by the Falcons. They kick it into the corner. Waters still pressing up. Now passing and pressing up as well. Dalton Norris looking in to turn the puck over. Far side corner of the boards here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. Pass over. In. Shot is saved by Cole Moore. Taking it back down into the neutral ice. That's Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson with the puck now. Looking for a pass in, crossing pass into the slot. He'll get it all the way across at the blue line. Jordan Power working in, down to the goal line, being pressed up. Good play by Ryan O'Hara to force that puck free. The Falcons still battling for it. Now near side corner of the board, still in the D end of the Falcons, and Gustav Stjernberg will take the puck away, pancake it up the ice. It'll be grabbed and dropped. Minnesota State will have the puck. Wearing their gray uniforms today with the purple shorts, purple headgear. Falcons wearing brown with the orange buckets and orange gloves as they did yesterday. O'Hara back around. Wozni with a lot of ice in front of him and the puck. He'll put it off the half wall and into Jordan Power, who's been physical in this game so far. Ben Duran giving the forecheck into Minnesota State, and Will Hillman will take it back down in the D zone. Whistle blows as the pass is long. It'll go for an icing, and we will have a stoppage of play following two quick goals by these two squads. 1-1 the score, 13:38. Ben Duran with the first score of the game and second of the weekend for the Falcons, and then Rhett Pitlick only 20 or so seconds later with his score, assisted by Caden Bolson on the breakaway. Still nobody more than one shot on goal for either squads. The Falcons with 3 total and 1 shot on goal. Minnesota State with 6 shots and 3 shots on goal. They come up with the puck now. A lot of puck possession early for the Mavericks. Pass across. Jaden Grant gets it around. Kabanoff cross into the center and just a little bit short as it goes off of the stick of Brian Karabas, who comes up with the puck now. Pass into the zone. Moravik looking for it. Out into the middle. The Falcons with the puck now. Looking in off of the half wall. Brett Foe getting manhandled on the near side boards. Turns it back over to Mason Wheeler, the assistant captain. Pass up the ice on the defensive end. Isley all the way around. Brandon Santawana, the extra skater in today's game, playing right wing for the Falcons. Pass near side to Imonen. Imonen, a shot just high, let go by Alex Tracy. Back up to the point. Passanen, shot in, kicked away by Tracy. Didn't cover that one up. Probably should have with a man in his face, but the defenseman of the Mavericks kick it away. Crossing pass won't land. The Falcons will chase it back into their own end. Clear possession, and the Mavericks will go for a shift. Santawana just a little bit wide for him. Pass up neutral zone. Pitlick, who's got the goal in this game, 14 points on the season, 6 goals, 8 assists for the transfer from Minnesota. Huge addition to this Minnesota State crew. Great skater, great stick handling as well. Just a fantastic left winger to an already great Maverick team. Pass across the middle. Evan Murr takes it into the zone, stays on sides. Working in, mugging it is Brody Waters. Waters on the second line again today with Max Martin and Ethan Scardina, who is back in the lineup today after serving his game suspension yesterday. Pass off of Martin, back into the zone. Icing will be the call against the Falcons, and they try and get a quick shift, but the referee will keep the guys on. Duran, Wozni, and Stjernberg on the ice now. Confusion as to who the other Falcons were, and the referee's sorting it out. It's going to be Scardina and Waters. So the referees got it wrong with who was on the ice. It's Duran, Waters, and Scardina, 2 centermen. It'll be Scardina who takes the draw. He's 1 for 1 in this game, wins this one as it goes behind Moore. Waters off the half wall into Ben Duran. It's cleared across the neutral ice. Minnesota State's the first one there. It's been tough for the Falcons the last minutes over today and yesterday's game, just holding on to the puck, and when they do, can't complete a pass as the defense of Minnesota State is quite good. Falcons pass up into the neutral zone. Duran will be the first one there, turning it back around, looking for a pass. He's being pressed up by Luke Ashton, who had a goal in yesterday's game. Pass up into the O zone of the Falcons. Ashton will be the first one there, clearing it around to Wilson. Wilson battling for it to the boards. Now back to Ashton. Ashton behind his tender will take it out. Benincasa up into central. Dumps it back in as Kranick. He'll go for a quick change. McKinley with the puck off the half wall. Parker settles it down in the D zone of the Falcons. Crossing pass, working in is Wheeler. Wheeler goes off the half wall and into Stender. Stender, the forward on the fourth line with Hillman and Williams, and sometimes Olsen as the extra skater. Turning it back around is Murr. Murr at the goal line looking for a pass, gets cross-checked again. Pass up into this slot. This one's Bergmanis. Bergmanis turns it back around, gets bullied, gives the puck up to Olsen. Olsen now in the game for Finn Williams. Pass out to the point at Evan Murr. Pass over into the slot and taken away by the Falcons. Kicked over to the side. Will Hillman with the puck, working in from the center. The senior can't get the pass across to Olsen. Olsen again, the extra skater, back up to the point, looking like Minnesota State is on the power play, as we saw in the later minutes of the first period yesterday. Off the half wall, can't clear it out. Evan Murr getting bullied by Kabanoff. Now gives it up behind the goal line. They got 4 players behind the goal line. Pass over into the slot. The Falcons take it away, pass it up the ice, and they'll go for a shift as Brendan Olsen will give an aggressive pass up into the zone and will inevitably turn it over to the Falcons. Far side part, harsh forecheck. Scardina turns it over. Isley, wrist shot, wide left of the goaltender Cole Moore, who didn't get a stick on it. 1-on-4, taking it in is Scardina. Will put a hit on Ashton, get the puck away. Niedermeyer with the puck now, good position. Falcons trying to turn it over in the O-zone. Shot from Dalton Norris will clear to the other side of the rink. Zonka with the forecheck. It clears outside of the zone. The Falcons are offsides. The whistle will finally blow, and the puck will exit into the neutral zone of ice. We are past the 10-minute mark, meaning we're at our media timeout. 1-1, Minnesota State and Bowling Green here in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Hockey plays the second game of a weekend series in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan against the Lake Superior State Lakers on Saturday, January 4th. Catch Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. Ah. That's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
9:14 left in the first period. Falcons and Mavericks locked up at 1. The first goal from Ben Duran, his third of the season and 6 total point, tying with Max Martin and Brett Foe for the second most goals scored. And then Rhett Pitlick scored his 6th goal of the season, tied with Brian Carabas and Adam Isley for the highest goal total of Minnesota State. And that's how we got to this 1-1 score. Minnesota State's had a lot of the puck possession as of late, which does not bode well for the Falcons when they've played well the last game, 2 games. They've held on to the puck a lot more. They've won a decent amount of faceoffs today, 5-2 in the faceoff battle, a battle that they lost yesterday, but haven't been able to turn the puck over from Minnesota State when they have it, and haven't been able to hold on a whole lot when they do win faceoffs and take it back into the D zone. Again, the defense of Minnesota State, the strong point of this team, even though they're the 3rd highest scoring team in the CCHA. Lake Superior State being the highest, currently leading Bemidji State 3-2 midway through their second period in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Offsides is the call against Minnesota State, so we'll leave the zone once again. Fair State also leading Northern Michigan up in Marquette at the home of the Wildcats. Fair State looking like they could complete a sweep if they pull this game off. Won pretty handily yesterday against Northern Michigan, and Michigan Tech and St. Thomas yet to post their score, but they are also in a game in Houghton, the home of Michigan Tech. pretty good series, pretty evenly matched teams. Pass back, taken away by Sternberg, off the half wall into the neutral zone. Minnesota State will come up with it in their own end. Mavericks leave it up. Moore to McKinley. McKinley tries to find Duran, but picked off by Josh Grohl, the centerman and center. Hasn't played a very good game and into this one. Didn't do a whole lot yesterday. Just kind of on the ice a couple of times. Didn't win a lot of faceoffs either, even though Minnesota State did a very good job in that department. Falcons stay onside. Good stick work by Scardino, but he ends up getting it taken away by Pitlick into Bolson. Bolson on the right wing. Back around across to Passanen. Back to Scardino. Scardino looking for a pass. It's in the center to Max Martin, the left winger for the Falcons, playing on the far side. Big hit against Moravec from Scardino. There's that physicality Willie's going to try and enforce in this game. Bolson in the left wing now, and it's taken away by the Falcons. Waters was being tripped up a little bit. Scardino looking for the puck still. The Falcons have it. We'll give it back to their D-men, and the Blue Liners will settle it down. Take it up into neutral ice slowly. Ice down for the Falcons, who will go for a change now. Grant, Foe, and Norris on still. Waters will clear off as he was on the forecheck. Kabanoff, the other forward for the Falcons now. Moravec into Grant. Grant takes it away, takes it up on a 1-on-3, gets it poked away. Moravec with the puck now, still trying to fight for it, and Adam Isley, the centerman on the second line, will take it away for Minnesota State. Back up into the zone. Foe with the puck now, looking for a crossing pass. Shot is saved by Alex Tracy. Tried to be knocked down by Foe. He'll be the first one to this puck, clearing it out to the blue line. Now pass back in. BG working it in. It's Kabanoff looking for a centering pass. We'll get it back off the half wall, out to the point at McKinley. Across to Sternberg. Sternberg with the shot in, and it's saved. Go for a change. Adam Isley cherry picking up, but the pass will go to the near side, and Zach Kranick. Sternberg, the first one there. Getting two-man forechecked. Pass goes into the net. McKinley leaves it back for Sternberg. Pass up into McKinley again. McKinley streaking through the middle. Pass to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer with a shot, and it's gloved and knocked into the chest of Alex Tracy, who saves his third shot of the game. Falcons up to 4 shots on goal to Minnesota State's 3. MSU was leading 3-1 at one point. The Falcons have had a pretty good spurt the last couple of minutes. Played even through this first period. We're at a 6.5-minute mark left to play. Wheeler back up to the blue line. Falcons take it away. Imonen back in the zone. Less forecheck for Minnesota State. That has plagued brutal for the Falcons in this one. Niedermeyer dumps it in. Zonka giving chase. And I think we're going to get an icing. Falcons will not get a change. The Mavericks will. It'll be Bolson, Pitlick, and Grohl. Grohl will go for the draw against Ville Imonen, Adam Zonka, and Jackson Niedermeyer. 3 newcomers on the 4th line for the Falcons this year. Imonen been a pretty strong centerman, not great offensively, but similar to how Ethan Scardina plays. Niedermeyer's been pretty decent all around. Not a lot of play early, but's earned it as of late. A mainstay on the penalty kill with Fighton and Scardina. Fighton, who's scratched today. And then Zonka, who had the first goal of his career yesterday, been having some pretty good shifts lately. Durant turns this one back around from Minnesota State. MSU has it taken away. Pass up the ice, pancake. First one there will be Durant. Durant with the puck now on a little bit of a breakaway. Looking to cross it over into the middle. Taking it over, and Alex Tracy shuts off the side of the goal Ben Durant was coming from on the left wing. Pass over into the slot, again taken away, but the Falcons are there. O'Hara with the puck, working it into Durant. Durant on the near side boards. O'Hara puts a hit, forces Isley to the ice. Pitlick looked like he was going to streak away with it, but Bolson with the puck now turns it up. Oh, it clears out of the crowd, trying to go high off the half wall, and it will leave the zone. 5:15 left to play in the first period, tied up 1-1. BGSU women's basketball is over there on WBGU 88.1 FM. Took our hockey airtime today, but that's okay. Women's basketball is going to hopefully blow out Xavier. They should. Been a pretty good team so far this season. Lucas Kleinmeyer and Kaden Knapp on the call from the Stroh Center against Xavier. BGSU women's basketball, WBGU 88.1 FM going on now. Of course, we'd like if you stuck with us for hockey. The face-off in the actual center of the ice is offside from Will Hillman. So Scardina will go up against Jacob Stender, the left winger. This one will be won by Scardina, taking it into the O zone of the Falcons immediately. Santawana with the puck now, slapping it over. Scardina was there, but couldn't get a stick on it. Minnesota State up through the zone. Center ice hit on Stender, who somehow stayed on his feet. Olsen and Defoe. Foe with the puck now, trying to get it away, but he's slapped by Hillman. Gets it into the zone. Pass across, taken away. Stender over in, and Cole Moore kicks it away with his blocker. Santawana up the ice. It hits Scardina. Back into the zone. Scardina with the forecheck. Now we'll go for a change with no forecheck from the Falcons. Completing the check is Grant. Grant with the puck now to Isley. Isley gets it away. Moravec crosses it. Back to Wheeler. Wheeler working in as a defenseman, not at the blue line. Passanen presses up against. Kabanoff with the puck now. Pancakes it up the ice into center. Pop fly taken away from Foe. Foe slaps it out of the air. Grant will be the first one there, but offside warning against the Falcons. They'll all have to get onside. It's taken away. Foe with the puck now up the center ice. Little bit of a breakaway. 2-on-2 spinning out. Brett Foe with the puck looking for a pass, and they won't complete it. It's a 1-on-2. Taking it into the middle is Moravec. Back pass to Carabas. Carabas on the right side for Minnesota State. He gets bullied by Wozni. Taking it into the center are the Falcons, battling for it in front of the sin box. Kabanoff across. Passanen with the puck across to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer settles it down in the O zone, but turns it over to Minnesota State as they will battle for it, try and clear it out of their own blue line. Now Bowling Green with the puck. Duran is pressed up against the boards. O'Hara working in. Looked like he was going to pick that one away. Still kept in. Parker rings it around the horseshoe. Into O'Hara. O'Hara, physical, presses up. Completes the check. Gets the puck away, but it's to Zach Kranick of the Mavericks. Falcons go for a change. Minnesota State will collect in their own end. Luke Ashton mentioned a lot of his wrist shot yesterday that he did get a goal off of on the power play. He's also 6'6", 240. And that 6'6" is enough, but 240, that's a lot of man for the Falcons to be playing against in this game. Power wears a hit, gets it away, completing the check. Stjernberg looking on as the defender, as Pitlick will take this one up into the zone. Falcons pass back. Niedermeyer near side. Pass up into the slot. Ashton takes it away off the half wall into the neutral zone. Falcons with the puck now off the half wall again. Pass to himself, and Scardina will leave it back for Passanen. Passanen with the puck, getting forechecked by Rhett Pitlick. Pass out to the near side of McKinley. McKinley up to Imonen. Imonen tips it in the zone. Waters giving a forecheck. Bolson taking it up inside the blue line of the Falcons. Now a shot in, right on the doorstep. Cole Moore kicks it away. Under 2 minutes left to play in the first period. 1-1, Falcons and Mavericks. Pass up into the center. Hillman can't hold on. Minnesota State looking a little bit flustered as of the last couple minutes. Wozni across. Passanen all the way up, and it is intercepted by Minnesota State. Pancakes it into the zone. Wozni with the puck up to Martin. Martin to Scardina. Scardina with a breakaway. Minute and a half left to play in the first period. Looking for a pass. Gets pressured up against the boards. Still has the puck. Crossing over into the center. Max Martin was there. Wore a hit. The Falcons with it. Kabanoff back out to the point at Stjernberg to Norris. Norris back to Stjernberg at the point. Looking in. Shot down in front. Another shot from the Falcons on the doorstep. Working in. Kabanoff, and it's kicked away by a defenseman from Minnesota State. Back out to the point. Kabanoff with the puck now. Working it in. Back across to Stjernberg. Stjernberg again looking in. The shot is blocked. Falcons with the puck now. Cross into the center. Alex Tracy rejects it. Taking it away is Minnesota State. 1 minute left to play in the first period. A 30-second drive there for the Falcons. Got a couple of chances. Up to 7 shots on goal to Minnesota State's 5. Psychos can't hold on. 50 seconds left to play in the first. Being a little bit more offensively dominant, as we saw there. Dalton Norris and Gustav Stjernberg on the ice as defensemen. Not on a line together today, but playing together as they like the offense of those two players. Working in, Bowling Green with a shot. Another shot, slap shot from Eric Parker off the half wall, and it's taken by Adam Isley. Flips it up the ice, caught, dropped by Tommy Passanen. Brett Foe will give chase now. Psycho's across. Into the zone, Moravik to Isley. Isley is pressured by the Falcons. Good forecheck by Quinn. I'm sorry, not a forecheck, but good check against the boards by Quinn Emerson. Still pressing it up against the far side. 10 seconds left to play in the first in the O-zone of Minnesota State. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it looks like we're going to exit this period with the puck pressed up against the boards by both squads. They are happy to exit into the first period with a tie game. Minnesota State for 1, but the Bowling Green certainly, they have an even chance after this first period full of play. Goal by Ben Duran and Rhett Pitlick in this first. We'll unpack it in the Rick Crow intermission report in a few minutes. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio.
BGSU women's basketball faces off against the battle-tested Buffalo Bulls at the Stroh Center on Wednesday, January 8th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Caden Knapp at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media's live sports talk show, The Swoop? Well, there will be no more productions over winter break. Episodes will air again every Tuesday beginning on January 28th only on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
My name is Hunter Hayes. I know myself, and I know my buzzed warning signs. One shot is about knowing my limits, or not necessarily knowing my limits.
I start with one shot to have a good time.
One of the signs that I'm starting to feel a little buzz is when I start solving not only my own problems, but the entire world's problems. When I know I'm going out, I know I'm gonna start with calling for a ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Falcon Hockey returns to Slater Family Ice Arena to face Northern Michigan on Friday, December 13th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Nathan Burkett at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey everybody, Rachel Ray here. Nothing brings a bigger smile to my face than cooking up a big meal for the whole family and lots of friends. But there's not enough room at my table for the 17 million kids in our country who struggle with hunger. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks collects surplus food to give hope to hungry kids. But they can't do it without your help. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the first intermission report, the Rick Crow sponsored intermission report. Longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of BGSU hockey content by our organization, normally on WBGU 88.1 FM, but today on Falcon Radio because women's basketball is on WBGU. Again, longtime hockey fan, BGSU hockey fan, has sponsored our travel this season with BGSU hockey, and that's the only reason I am here in Mankato, Minnesota, to call this game between Minnesota State and Bowling Green. Minnesota State bested Bowling Green 4-1 yesterday, but the Falcons started out pretty strong in this first period, better than they did yesterday, and yesterday's first period was their best. A 1-1 score. The first goal came from the Falcons. Ben Duran on a wrist shot, his third goal of the season, assisted by Quinn Emerson and Ryan O'Hara. And then only about 20 seconds later, Rhett Pitlick with a breakaway with Caden Bolson. Bolson with the pass into Pitlick, and Pitlick filled it from the left side of Cole Moore, and that's been the scoring up until this point. After that, Minnesota State went on a long run where they held a lot of the possession. They won a decent amount of faceoffs, and they're actually tied Falcons at 5-5 in faceoffs won, held possession, had a lot of offensive stands, one of which that, like the last 3 minutes of the first period yesterday, looked like a little bit of a power play opportunity for Minnesota State, but the Falcons remedied that coming out after a couple of stoppages of play, and in those last 3 minutes for them, they had more offensive chances than Minnesota State. They held onto the puck a lot better. There was less forecheck for Minnesota State that's been causing problems for the Falcons because the Falcons moved the puck a lot quicker and a lot cleaner, and that's something we haven't seen from the Falcons a lot this season is clean passing. We saw it later in this first period. Unfortunately, did not result in a goal, but it did make some pretty good chances for Bowling Green. We've also seen some lines changing mid-game for the Falcons defensively, especially Breck McKinley playing a lot with Gustav Stjernberg. So is Dalton Norris playing with Stjernberg. Stjernberg's probably the second most offensive Bowling Green defenseman behind Dalton Norris. Maybe Breck McKinley is up there as well. He's really stepped into an offensive role this season, but later in that period when the Falcons were really going all out on a goal, Dalton Norris and Gustav Stjernberg were in the game playing the D position with that second line of forwards that I really enjoy. A new second line, Martin, Scardina, and Waters, who's down to the second line, but the first line is the one that scored, Emerson and O'Hara assisting Ben Duran, again up to his third goal of the season. Ryan O'Hara up to 10 points, the leading scorer for the Falcons now, and he has yet to find a goal this season. We've played a lot of games, and in our Pick the Stick, almost every single weekend, somebody picks Ryan O'Hara saying he's due. Well, he's been due for a while now and still not get it, and still not being able to get it or get the monkey off of his back. So, but the Falcons do get a goal in this period. These saves are 6 for Alex Tracy, 3 for Cole Moore, but 1 goal allowed for each goaltender. Tracy's was beat on the first shot attempt by Bowling Green in this game. That was Ben Duran's, and Rhett Pitlick at around the second shot attempt or third shot attempt against Cole Moore. That forecheck for Minnesota State, let's talk about that for a minute. They've been playing their left winger or centerman up a lot of the time. A lot of the time it's Pitlick. Some of the time it's Zach Kranick as well. Jacob Stender plays up in the zone as well as left wingers. We've seen Isley and Hillman up on the forecheck as well. They've really done a good job with that, sometimes even bringing a second man up into the D zone of the Falcons as they possess the puck, trying to get it out into center ice. It forces them to make a bad pass, a desperation pass, as they're getting up on by the quick skaters of Minnesota State, and that's how Minnesota State held on to the puck so long. Even when they gave it up, they turned it right back over with their harsh forecheck, and then their defense behind them, their defensemen have been lights out. Wheeler, Psychos, Ashton Power, Bergmanis, and Murr. Haven't seen a lot of Murr and Bergmanis in this game, but we've seen a lot more of Wheeler and Psychos, who were essentially absent from yesterday's game. Didn't get a Psychos got an assist, but they didn't really do a whole lot in that game yesterday, especially defensively. The defense for Minnesota State's been penetrable for the Falcons. They've had a lot of good chances crossing over into the center with just no orange and brown jersey there, and the Falcons haven't been able to get as many goals as you'd like, but they've only had 6 shots on goal and 1 score. So impressive offense from the Falcons what are we looking for them to go into the second period? Well, we're going to look for continued offensive prowess, and that stems from faceoffs being won and puck possession being held. 8 faceoff wins to only 5 faceoff losses for Bowling Green in this game. Very, very good compared to yesterday's losing faceoff effort for the Falcons. They've held on to the possession probably even. I still need to start a petition for the NCAA to take start doing puck possession as a stat recorded by the NCAA. It's not, I suppose, because it'd be too hard to keep track of, but it would be a valuable statistic, and I think it'd be about even in this game between the Falcons and the Mavericks. And holding onto the puck is the way that you get goals, and making good passes only comes when you have the puck on your stick. So the Falcons needing to do that. Again, we're through another period of play between these two squads where there hasn't been a penalty. It's been clean defense for both sides. There hasn't been a whole lot of physicality. You can tell a little bit more from the Falcons, but not too much. Maybe getting a little bit more physical for the Falcons in the second period, but it's worked for the first, so maybe not necessarily going into this first. But the mainstay of physicality is don't accept penalties. Gustav Stjernberg had the first penalty yesterday in the second, and promptly Minnesota State scored on it with the goal from Luke Ashton. We can't have that again in this game. The Falcons need to stay out of the box as long as possible, and hopefully, if possible, less than Minnesota State. So those should be the two keys going into this second period. The Falcons tied 1-1 with Minnesota State and Bowling Green. You're listening to the Rick Crow Intermission Report. We'll be back in a few moments with Around the CCHA. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing. Inspire kids to do at 4h.org.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Hockey wraps up the 2024 calendar year against RIT on December 29th at the Slater Family Ice Arena. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Daniel Reidner at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
On October 26, 2024, BGSU cornerback Jordan Oladokin snagged 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 in BG's 41-26 win over rival Toledo. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus was on the call on Falcon Radio.
Minute 13 left to go. Ball picked off. Jordan Oladokin. He's got Green in front of him. Jordan Oladokin. 10, 5, touchdown Bowling Green. Ball game. 41-26, Bowling Green wins this year's edition of the Battle of I-75 up here in the Glass Bowl.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Welcome back to the Rick Crow First Intermission Report. Longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of the Falcon Media Sports Network coverage of BGSU hockey, sponsoring our away trips to all BGSU hockey away locations this season. Today we're in Mankato for Minnesota State. We won't be away until the first weekend of January, where we will play Lake Superior State. We'll be up in that one in Sault Ste. Marie. Very excited for all the away trips this season. Thank you to Rick Crow for sponsoring. We are at the Around the CCHA segment of our first intermission report. Lake Superior State plays Bemidji. Bemidji won 3-2 yesterday over the Lakers, but the Lakers have come back with a vengeance. Sasha Teleguin with 2 goals, a shorthanded and a power play in this game, and is part of the reason that Lake Superior State is up 3-1 in Bemidji at the start of the third period. Luke Lewandowski, the other goal for Lake Superior State, and Eric Martin, the first goal of the game from Bemidji State. Ferris State leads Northern Michigan 2-1, trying to complete the sweep on the weekend and take 6 points in the CCHA. Caden Galt had a power play goal to open up scoring. Holden Dole, the second period goal, and then Matthew Romer for Northern Michigan, the other one. It's still a 1-goal lead for Ferris State and Marquette. Down to Bowling Green, Minnesota State. We know the scoring in this one. Ben Duran and Rhett Pitlick, the goal for the Falcon and for the Maverick. We're at the start of the second period. Ferris State and Northern Michigan midway through their second period. And St. Thomas and Michigan Tech have yet to post a score. Actually, I will look it up right now. But Michigan Tech beat the Tommies yesterday by a final score of 2-1. A goal by Rylan Brown, I believe, was the game winner for Michigan Tech in the game yesterday. They play the second of their 2-game set against St. Thomas today in Houghton, Michigan, which obviously we know is a tough place to play. And St. Thomas in the third period on top 3-1. An impressive comeback for St. Thomas in this game. The first goal by Lucas Wallen, the second by Liam Malmquist, the leading scorer for, well, one of the leading scorers for the CCHA, certainly the leading scorer for St. Thomas, and then Matthew Gleason as the most recent goal. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's all the first line of St. Thomas. The lines might be different today, but if that's true, Lucas Wallen, Liam Malmquist, and Matthew Gleason with the goals. Logan Morrell, the Michigan Tech goal in this game. No player on either side has more than 2 points. Luke Leyland, Chase Cheslock, Mason Pullman all have assists. Oh, I'm sorry, Lucas Wallen and Gleason have 2 points. They have a goal and an assist between the two of them. They have 2 points on this game. St. Thomas leads 3-1, and then Augustana will be playing Alaska Fairbanks at 10:07 p.m. Central Time, so that would be 11 p.m. I apologize, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, with the time difference. They're playing in Alaska, which, of course, is West Coast time. They did end up beating Alaska Fairbanks yesterday. Nace Langus, the power play goal to open up scoring, game winner from Nace Langus as well. He had a 2-goal game with Hunter Bischoff, the other goal for Augustana, and Broughton Sabo, the power play goal by Alaska Fairbanks. In the second period, the lone goal for them. So the CCHA between the last day and today as well. We'll take a step back for a few minutes. When we bring you back, we'll bring you puck drop at the second period here in Mankato. You're listening to the Rick Crow First Intermission Report on Falcon Radio.
Titans go!
When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely.
Hollywood, here we come! Road trip! And you know it's super.
To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly. We're finally on the big screen. Have a seat, my dude.
For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Gotcha. That's a wise move.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
BGSU men's basketball stays home for a battle with Aquinas College on Monday, December 23rd. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Caden Knapp at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for tip-off on Falcon Radio.
As far back as she can remember, Amy loved computers. How they worked, what they could do. They were a challenge. She wanted to learn as much as she could. So she harnessed her passion And now she's a cybersecurity officer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your future in any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at todaysmilitary.com.
BGSU women's basketball playing over there on WBGU 88.1 FM. If you want to go tune into that, they are at halftime right now, but the Falcons lead 42-24. Impressive display from the Falcons, who are quite sizably better than Xavier. 12 points for Erica Porter and 11 points from Lauren Gherkin. They're the two highest scorers in this game. Those big men for women's basketball really doing a great job early. We are at puck drop here in the Mankato, Minnesota, and the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center. Bowling Green and Minnesota State tied up at 1. Through one period, we just started the second. Minnesota State with the puck in their own end. Force up to Olsen. Olsen dumps it in the zone. Hillman with the puck now dumps in for Stender to chase, and Sternberg will be the first one there. With the puck now, being physical against Stender, but he'll come up with it away. Scardina up to Max Martin. That might sound like an odd phrase, but Max Martin, Brody Waters, and Ethan Scardina on the line today. Looking for a change in blood. Big hit center ice by Brody Waters. Getting it away, pass over in front, and it's stopped by Alex Tracy on the blue paint. Kicked away to his D-men. No forecheck from the Falcons. McKinley with the puck in the D zone will kick it back up to center ice. Brody Waters leaves it up for Quinn Emerson, who again, that sounds weird to see Quinn Emerson on the first line, as that first line's been O'Hara, Duran, and Waters for a hot while. McKinley working his way in, near wheel, pass over into the center, but it's blocked. McKinley still with the puck, turning it back around. Ben Duran takes it away, working in, slap shot. Ryan O'Hara, kick save by Alex Tracy. Pushed into the blue paint is a Falcon. That was Brody Waters playing out in front. I'm sorry, Quinn Emerson playing out in front, and he was kicked literally into the goal. He would have scored if he was the puck. Josh Grohl taking it in the zone. Decent stick work from the grad student out of San Diego, California. His fourth year, 124 games played in the purple and gold for Minnesota State. 21 goals, 34 assists for 55 points in his career. 5 goals, 6 assists, higher scoring season for him as the centerman for Minnesota State. First line centerman with Pitlick and Bolson. The Falcons collect in their own end. Back out, Norris pass up to center off of Jaden Grant. Stick in the lane. Kobanoff tries to force the puck free. It's into the neutral zone. Dalton Norris will kick it in inside the goal line. It will not be icing, but the Mavericks will collect with a two-man forecheck. Foe and Grant pass across. Moravik with the puck now. A two-man forecheck is forced some breakaways but for the Falcons, but they're playing 2 men up, 1 man in the center, and 2 D-men back. And I really like that formation on the defensive for the Falcons. I think that's had a lot of output in the last game and a half. You're allowing your own breakaways, and as long as your D-men are strong enough, you can defend those. Niedermeyer, first in the zone will be Imonen. Imonen with the puck at the goal line, looking for a pass in. It's back out to Passanen on the blue line, but taken away by Zach Kranick. Kranick leaves it, and Passanen picks it up behind. Now it's Benincasa. Crossover into the center. Oh, just long for Benincasa with that shot. This one goes wide right. Imonen puts a hit on Wheeler. McKinley kicks up to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer into the neutral zone, but kept in. Now pass in. Luke Wilson with the low angle shot. Cole Moore saves easily. Kranick pass out to Wilson. Wilson with the puck now back up at the blue line in the center, loses it, keeps it inside the blue line, and rings it back around for Kranick to try and dig out behind the boards. Back out to Wheeler at the point, across to his man Psychos. Psychos looking in, shot over in front, no rebound chance. Wilson will take it back around to the blue line. A stand here for Minnesota State, and he'll leave it back, taken away by the Falcons. Brody Waters into the center, pass out across, shot saved by Alex Tracy. Psychos leaves it back for Ashton. Luke Ashton wears a hit, gets it away. Turnover in center ice. Max Martin rings it all the way around. Santawana will chase it out, digging it off the boards, back out to the point. Eric Parker with the puck, down to the goal line. Scardina, two-man forecheck there for the Minnesota State Mavericks, and they will turn it back over. Into the neutral zone, Falcons with the puck now. Eric Parker out, and that one's a little bit long, offside is the call. Oh, I'm sorry, that's going to be a hooking on Rhett Pitlick at the end of that play. That's why the whistle blew. The Falcons were actually offsides as well, but Rhett Pitlick will be the first penalty receiver in this game. Falcons go on a man advantage. High sticking on Rhett Pitlick, not a hooking. Falcons with an early chance. 1-1, tie score, 15:50 left to play in the second period. This will be a great opportunity for the Falcons to take a lead here. Although the penalty kill for Minnesota State better than the Falcons' penalty kill, an 8:04, one of the better in the CCHA, stemming from that great defense that they have. McKinley with the puck over in the middle on the blue line. Pass across, shot in, rebound chance for the Falcons, but it's taken away. Isley back out to the blue line, kept in by McKinley. O'Hara can't hold on. It's cleared out by Minnesota State, but only in the neutral zone, not all the way back down to Cole Moore. Falcons will reset, take a drive. Dalton Norris takes it inside the blue line, back up in the goal line. O'Hara is the first one there. Looking for a pass back around to the point, but it's kept in by a stick of Maverick. Battling for it on the near side corner. Whistle blows. I believe it hit the netting, and it'll be a face-off to the left of Alex Tracy with 1:24 left to play and the man advantage for the Falcons. Pitlick in the sin bin. 2 minutes for high sticking. O'Hara for the draw for the Falcons. Waters, Max Martin, Dalton Norris, and Breck McKinley on for the Falcons as well. Can't keep it in. It's a little bit of a breakaway for Minnesota State. Moravec takes it inside, pass back on the backhand. Can't get it to land. Keeping it in the O-zone is Minnesota State, but the Falcons will collect. That wasted about a good 20 seconds off the clock. So effective on that fruitless drive by Minnesota State. Tip into the zone. Evan Murr giving chase. Back around. Dalton Norris with some open ice. He'll dig it off the boards. Pass over and behind. Evan Murr there again. D-man for Minnesota State. Moravec will be the first one here, looking to clear it out the zone. He'll go off the half wall and out. 45 seconds left in the power play for the Falcons. McKinley waits for the correct personnel to get on the ice. Now all four will be in the D zone of the Falcons and take a rush up. Scardina through the center. Leaves it for Foe. Foe can't hold down. Now Scardina with the forecheck. That's Imonen. And it'll be iced again by Minnesota State with 20 seconds left. Enough for one more drive if you're Bowling Green. They will not go for a new set of skaters. Instead, Ben Wozni will take it up. Now leave it back in the D zone. Taken by Foe. Foe over the middle to Duran. Duran near side to Scardina. Scardina back into Duran. Duran rings it all the way back around to the point on the far side part of the boards. At the left wing. Bowling Green working in. Back out at the goal line. Looking for a pass. Over. Shot! Brett Foe can't get it to land. Pass over, even strength now. Another shot from Imonen, kicked away easily by Alex Tracy. An effective penalty kill for Minnesota State. Ethan Scardina with a shot, taken away now. Another one, and it's crossed back. Jaden Grant just got a little bit too deep in there. Minnesota State takes it away. 2 men back for Bowling Green. Rhett Pitlick, a good skater, good stick handling, works it out near side. Shot high for Cole Moore. Pass out, back to the point. Ashton rings it all the way across. All 6'6", 240 behind that pass as it was humming. Across the blue line again, back to Ashton. Ashton on the right wing at the blue line. Into Pitlick. Pitlick with some open space. Crossover into the center. Cole Moore shuts off the goal. Jaden Grant looks to take it up. Kabanoff going for the puck, not the body. Shot is deflected off of the skate of Gustav Stjernberg. Not out there on that penalty. Crossover into the center. Josh Grohl is taken away. Oh, that should be a tripping. He got his skate down there. No penalty will be the call. Jaden Grant, or I'm sorry, Jackson Niedermeyer fell down in between the wheels. Should have been a tripping on the offensive for Minnesota State. The pass is cleared outside the zone. The Falcons and the Mavericks will reset. Ashton pass, forcing it up. Stjernberg clashing with Moravec. Pass up to Emerson. A little bit deep for him. O'Hara skating in with Evan Murr, and it will be whistled off for an icing against the Falcons. 1-1, 12:15 left to play in the second period. Falcons lead in shots on goal 10-7, although the gameplay, if I'm being honest, has been pretty even. 8 saves total for Alex Tracy, 5 for Colmore. Both have a goal allowed in this game, both with a sub-900 save percentage. Alex Tracy, the best goaltender in the nation statistically. Probably is as well, but he benefits a lot from great defensive work from the Mavericks. Evan Murr tries to ice it back in the O zone. The Falcons will possess easily. Pass across the nose of Colmore to Stjernberg. Stjernberg up to Emerson. A little bit long for him. Chasing it in is Duran, who gives a hit on Murr. Murr gets it away to Isley. Isley, the centerman on the second line for Minnesota State. McKinley with the puck now. Coast to coast. Isley will leave it back for Wheeler. Wheeler goes off the half wall. The Falcons will have to keep it in. They can't do it. It exits outside the zone. Offside warning against the Falcons. Now they all get back on side. Waters giving a forecheck. Pass up to Carabas. Benincasa with the puck now. Off the half wall. Carabas with the puck back out to the point at Wheeler. Wheeler with a slap shot from the blue line. No rebound chance as Colmore bottles it up. Kicks it away, and the stoppage of play will force a face-off to the right wheel of Colmore. As a long slap shot. The product of that should have been a rebound chance, but Colmore pretty good with shutting down plays, knowing when to do it. He gets a fresh change for his guys. Wozni and Stjernberg out on the ice again. That's not the defensive line that started this game. That was Stjernberg and Parker. Shot blocked by Wozni. Santawana up the ice, and it goes into the bench just wide of the field to play. Well, we've seen some mixed up lines here for Bowling Green. Not so much forwards. Defensively, we've had a lot, especially on the power play attempt that the Falcons failed to convert on. Mason Wheeler pass across to Psychos. Psychos back to Wheeler. Near side, working in, slap shot from Psychos, and it's taken away. Santawana takes it up the ice, pushes it up, trips Niedermeyer just a little bit long. Santawana tries to dig it out of the boards. Working in is Luke Wilson. Wilson for a pass across to Kranick. Kranick on the near side, working in, right wing. Now turns it back around. Oh, crossing chance for Benincasa, but between his legs, and he couldn't get a stick on it. Ashton across to Power. Power looking in, right wing now for Power. Turns it back around, Colmore out to the point. Power makes a 360 around the half of the rink. Ashton with a shot, blocked Santawana. He lost track of it, and it goes back into the Minnesota State bench. Second time in a row, 10:25 left in the second period. The Falcons will get a change. Norris and Parker on now. The defensive line for the Falcons, Kabanoff, Imonen, and Zonka, it looks like, which is a forward line that's a little bit mixed up. Norris with the puck, up to Zonka. Zonka had a lot of great shifts yesterday, not a lot of shifts total today. Parker up, passes just long for Imonen, who had wide open ice in front of him. Parker couldn't complete the pass. Hillman with the puck now, near side. Ashton takes it up through central ice. He's got a 1-on-2, and offsides is the call as Brandon Olson for Minnesota State just got a little bit too eager. Across the blue line early. 10 minutes left to play in the second period. Next stoppage, not an icing, will be our media timeout. O'Hara, Emerson, and Duran on the ice. Passanen and McKinley, the defensemen. And again, the defensive lines are really mixed up for the Falcons as Passanen on the line sheet. Supposed to be with Norris. Norris was with Parker a second ago. Stjernberg with Wozni, who was the defensive line a lot of last year. Wozni and Stjernberg. Jack Blake on the lineup sheet, but was scratched before the game started today. So he did dress. He did take warm-ups, but he's not on the ice. Or on the bench, I should say. Ben Duran with the puck, takes it into the zone, turns it back around, looking for a pass. Back out to the point at McKinley. McKinley down to the baseline. And Duran can't hold on. Back out to the point. Passanen. Passanen at the baseline now. Low angle shot. Rebound chance. And nobody was there to pull it back. McKinley passing across into Carabas. Carabas leaves it up. Hit center ice. Turns it over. It's a 3-on-2 for Minnesota State. Cross to the inside. Stick in the lane for McKinley. who turns the puck over. He's been great for the Falcons the last couple of games. Maybe the best defenseman for Bowling Green. Offensive chances, defensive crossover into the center. Shot now. Oh, over the goal. That one was tipped. Rhett Pitlick takes this shot. That one looked to be Campbell Psychos. Brings it back around. Josh Grohl with the puck. Crossing in is Bolson. Not Olsen. 26 versus 25. Back out to the point. Settling it down. Psychos again. Working in. Blowing a tire is Grohl, who just put a hit on Niedermeyer over in. Near side, Psychos. Now taking it to the far side. Turns it back around. Martin, and a score! Don't know if it was tipped up front, but Psychos going for a pass. And I think he will get credit for the second goal of the game for Minnesota State. Let's see who's leading the high five line. It is Campbell Psychos, second point of the weekend for him. .8:45 left in the second period, 2-1 lead for Minnesota State. Josh Grohl and Rhett Pitlick, the assisters. Falcon stick broke on the draw. Going to get another one is Scardina, who wins the draw. Santawana in the zone, wears a hit, turning it back around. 11:15 this time of that score. Sternberg in the zone, looking to come away with it. Moravik gives him a bump, forced away. Santawana with the puck, off the glass, into neutral ice. Falcons with it now, among a stick. Sternberg with a shot, it's gloved by Alex Tracy. Some shoving in front of the goaltender. And some almost fighting going on in front between Brody Waters and Brett Moravik, but nothing will come of it. 11:15 the score of the last goal. We're at the media timeout. We'll take a step back for a few moments. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Hockey is back at the Slater Family Ice Arena for Game 2 of their series against the Northern Michigan Wildcats on Saturday, December 14th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WVGU 88.1 FM.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Falcon Radio.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Falcon Radio.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Falcon Radio 88.1 WBGU HD2 Bowling Green, Ohio.
Welcome back into the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. Falcons trailing by 1 after the most recent goal by Campbell Psychos, the defenseman. His first goal of the 2024-25 campaign, his fourth total point, and his second goal of his career for Minnesota State and 86 games played. He tilts the ice toward Minnesota State. It's 2-1 against the Falcons, but the Falcons have played pretty well, all things considered. More offensive chances, 11 shots on goal to Minnesota State's 9. They did have a penalty opportunity. Rhett Pitlick got 2 for high sticking, but the Falcons failed to convert. And here we are, getting ready to start the second half of the second period. 8:15 left to play. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Pitlick an assist on the Psychos goal. He's got 2 points in this game. The first goal and now the assist as well. He's up to 15 total points. 6 goals, 9 assists. That's the leader outright for Minnesota State. A battle between him, Brian Karabas, Adam Isley for that top spot and points. Josh Grohl a little bit behind in that line. The Falcons need to generate some momentum coming out of this. They possess the puck in their D zone, but they need to be able to tie this up and go into the third period even strength to give them the best chance of taking points. Or even strength, I should say. Oh, big center height. Center ice hit against Ryan O'Hara. Man, he got decked. He's right up with the puck again behind Tracy, looking for a pass into Duran. Duran back out to the point at Parker. Good offensive stance for the Falcons now. Duran with a shot over, rebound chance, working in, slap shot from Quinn Emerson, and it won't go as Tracy shut it off. Duran back around, Emerson with the puck behind the goal line, leaving it in. Emerson wears a hit, pass over into the slot, taken away by Jacob Stender. Another shot for the Falcons, blocked at the point by a D-man. No, that was Jacob Stender again. A good defensive stand for Minnesota State, a good offensive stand for the Falcons. 2 shots on goal during that try. That slap shot from Quinn Emerson I thought had a chance, but it was right on the doorstep and too close in to Alex Tracy. Didn't have a whole lot of angle to get an aimed shot off. Kabanoff to Foe. Foe to Passanen with an errant shot. Goes wide left. Brendan Olson tries to clear it out. Another shot across the nose of Tracy. Grant with the puck. Back up to the point at Passanen. Passanen in and deep. Kabanoff playing a pick roll. Passanen with another shot. It's blocked. Josh Grohl, he will try to get a short-handed chance, but it will not go. Short-handed, I mean, in a 5-on-5 fashion. And he had a 1-on-0 against Cole Moore for a second, but taken away by the Falcons. Now a little bit of an odd man rush. Back up into the neutral zone. Scardina with the C on his chest looking in. Puck stopped by Cole Moore, left back. Wozni all the way up. If that pass had a little bit more heat on it, it would have been a breakaway for the Falcons. Tracy outside of the goal, forecheck for Waters. Waters pass in, and it was just a little bit long for him. Into central ice, Falcons with the puck. Dumped in, Grohl goes off the glass and around, avoiding icing. Wozni, pass up again. Forced down is Martin. It will hit his stick, so no icing. Minnesota State, their own deep pass up. Sternberg puts a hit on, forces it away. Norris up into central ice. Only goal from the Falcons today, assisted by Emerson and O'Hara. Ben Duran's 3rd goal of the season. 2-1, Minnesota State over Bowling Green. 5.5 left to play in the second, and icing will be the call, so the puck will go back down into the O-zone for Bowling Green. Emonen for the draw. 3 face-off wins to 2 face-off losses in this game. The Falcons lead in face-offs 12-11, but still tight with Minnesota State. Parker with the slap shot. Rebound chance for Zonka, and Zonka can't fill it. Back out to the point. Kept in by Niedermeyer. Zonka does the same. First one there is going to be Emonen. Emonen, whether he's going to go back out to the point or ring all the way around. He tries to go back up to the point, but Psychos is there to shut it down. And Minnesota State will have possession here through the middle. 4-on-4 drive for Minnesota State, shut down by the Falcons. Gloved and dropped. Zonka wore a big hit in the center. Parker with the puck now. He's back up. So a big hit center ice. Whistle blows. We're going to get a penalty on that on Adam Zonka. The fans here in the Mayo Clinic don't like it. Adam Isley giving bump. Who will go to the box? Looks to be Luciano Wilson. Talking it over with the referees. Center ice. 5 minutes left to play in the second. It'll be 2 minutes at least for the Falcons. And 2-minute minor for elbowing on that play. No replay here, but the fans of Minnesota, as we know, all of them know the game of hockey, not too pleased with it, but it'll be a man advantage chance for the Falcons. One that is a great opportunity for them to tighten up the score at a tie apiece. Willie's asking for explanation on why they didn't challenge, as that was quite an aggressive hit against Adam Zonka. But no challenge will come of it. Willie will take the 2 minutes, put his power play unit on. Waters, Martin, Foe, McKinley, and Norris. So 2 defensemen on for the Falcons now. No 4th forward. We'll see how this works out for the Falcons. As nicely enough, they will be on the power play with their bench on the side that they are trying to score. So changes will be easy for Bowling Green. Waters with the puck, working it behind. Martin back out to the point. Stender's there to try and force it away. This will be a turnover. No, it won't. Falcons across, slap shot. Dalton Norris in the middle, still flailing on it are the Falcons. A hit over in the center, and I think the referee lost track of the puck as they skate in and trying to pull all this out. One man fell down, then another man fell on top of him, and then before you knew it, two other skaters were on top of him, and Alex Tracy ended up covering it up, I believe. He did cover it up pretty early. Martin down, now Psychos, then Waters, then Stender. A lot of bodies there in the front, but no goal to come of it for the Falcons. 1:44 left to play and man advantage on the penalty to Luciano Wilson. Ryan O'Hara for the draw. Wins it for the Falcons. Norris battling for it with Kranick. Now O'Hara, he gets mugged. Kranick ices it. Back down into the D zone of the Falcons. Moore will come out and field it. Leave it back. No true forecheck for Minnesota State. They're playing two on both blue lines. Up into Central. They'll ice this one back down. Kranick could get there if he really gives pressure. McKinley will leave it back. Martin with the puck now in the D zone, and the Falcons will complete a change. McKinley up to O'Hara. The new guy's back on the ice now as offsides against the Falcons. An offside warning, so Minnesota State will possess this till they get a forecheck. They do. Pass out in front. Cole Moore left it out for his guy, and successfully a minute wasted by Minnesota State, and the Falcons have not got more than one good chance there, and the one covered up by Tracy a second ago. Ben Duran with the puck now, turning it back around, out to the point. Imonen into Wozni. Wozni fans on the chance, takes it back out to the left wing, out to Foe. Foe back out to the point. Wozni in the middle, into Duran near side, and it goes off the skate of Duran. Wozni into the middle again, back to Duran, near side, left wing, looking for a rebound chance. Skating in was Foe, but it was a little bit long for him off of the blocker. Back out, outside the zone, 15 seconds left. Falcons will have to rush to get one more man advantage chance here. Minnesota State will go for a change and get an offensive unit back out there as they only have to kill. 5 seconds left. Wozni with the puck, ices it back around. It'll come up to Jordan Power and back out to full strength, and now a breakaway chance for Luke Wilson, cleared away from the Falcons as he came right out of the box, right onto the puck. Out to Kabanoff. Kabanoff near side. 2 successful penalty kills for Minnesota State, the only 2 penalties of this game. Power narrowly avoiding an interference penalty. Minnesota State with the puck now. Power up into neutral ice. Jaden Grant, the first one there for the Falcons, but he's pressed up by Caden Bolson. Still holding on. They are locked up, Caden Bolson and Jaden Grant, and the referees will try and force them away. No penalty will be the call on the referee. It looked like somebody could have got called for holding there, but they were both tangled up, so I guess didn't want to unfairly invoke a penalty. Sternberg with the puck up to Niedermeyer into Central D ice is the Falcons. Martin up through center into the middle, and offsides will be the call. Niedermeyer stretching the leg out was just a little bit long. 2 minutes left in the second period. 2-1 Minnesota State on the last goal by Campbell Psychos. The D-man's first goal of the 24-25 season. Ben Duran for the draw with Emerson and O'Hara. Passanen and Norris, the defensive unit. Norris slap shots it in. Quinn Emerson back out to Passanen to the far side. Norris. More setup plays in this game than we saw yesterday from both teams. Duran out back to the point. Passanen will come in a little bit to grab it. Rebound chance just wide left. That one looked like it could have glanced in. Psychos. Where's the hit? Gets it out to a gray jersey. Again, Minnesota State wearing their gray with purple and gold striping, purple helmets. Pass across, shot. Brian Carabas is gloved by Cole Moore. The faceoff will be in the O-zone of Minnesota State. With a minute and a half left. Chippiness going on late in this second period. Sternberg was just given a bump by a Minnesota State player. That's how chippy things have gotten. No true fights broken out, nothing penalty-wise. Both penalties in this game assessed to Minnesota State, 2 man advantage chances that the Falcons couldn't capitalize on, and that's going to be one to look back on if the Falcons end up losing this game, as you had 2 chances with an extra man that you weren't able to capitalize on, and against the number 13 team RPI, number 15 on voter team in the nation, you got to take every chance you can possibly get. Waters off the half wall, up into the zone in front of his own bench. Bergmanis with the puck now into the center, taken away by Scardina and then taken immediately back by Isley. Isley up, flips it far side, pass across into Cole Moore, and he'll try and cover this one up. And chippiness going on there. Kabanoff is just getting into it with Caden Bolson on the far side boards, but the no hand in the air. Moravik and Waters now as well. After the end of that play, maybe a little bit of a late hit, but nothing to write home about. Oh, maybe there is something to write home about. Oh, they're going to put a Maverick in the box. Roughing, possibly. We'll see when they put it on the live stats. A minute left. The Falcons are going to start the third period with a man advantage unless they fill it in the next couple of minutes. Or the next minute and 7 seconds, I should say. So the Falcons go back on the power play again. We'll see what the penalty is called. I didn't see anything, in fairness to both squads. But the power play unit back on for the Falcons. Martin, O'Hara, and Waters, Norris, and McKinley, the D-men. Some good offensive chances in the first power play for Bowling Green. 1 in the second power play. Minnesota State killed it off clinically. Face-off won by Minnesota State. They'll ice it back around. Chasing it into the zone is Stender, but he will not be the first one there, and he'll stay back at the blue line. 2 minutes for slashing. So I don't remember whether he slashed or not. Or it was not on the pleasantries that were being exchanged at the end. Martin back out. Tried to get it back to the blue line, but it was essentially iced back down. 40 seconds left in the second period. McKinley leaves it back. The Falcons will have 53 seconds of power play coming into the third unless they score here in the next 30. Over in, back out to the point. McKinley back in. Quick stick work from both Falcons. Working in the middle, poked away. Slap shot, and is blocked and clears outside the blue line. 20 seconds left. You wonder if the Falcons now will just waste some time and make sure you get the power play at the start of the third and get some momentum that way. They're down 2-1 right now. 10 seconds left. Doesn't look like they're going to get a good offensive chance. Carabas with the takeaway into central ice. It'll be knocked down. Back to Kranick. Kranick on the near side, but it won't complete, and that will make sure time ran out in the second period with 53 seconds left on the power play for Bowling Green, and the penalty assessed to Brian Carabas for slashing. We will come back with the Mardi Gras intermission report in a few minutes. You're listening to Bowling Green trailing by 1 here on Falcon Radio.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
BG men's basketball opens up conference play against the defending MAC champion Akron Zips on Friday, January 3rd. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz and Artie Abrego will guide you through the action starting at 5:45 for pregame on Falcon Radio.
On November 1st, 2024, BGSU men's soccer defeated nationally ranked Western Michigan for the first time in a decade. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer was on the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
History has been made here at Cochran Stadium for the first time in 37
regular season matches for the Western Michigan Broncos, and for the first time in a decade, the Bowling Green Falcons take down the Western Michigan Broncos by a final score of 3-0 here at Concord Stadium. Wow!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
We depend on our drinking water supply daily, but where does that water come from? Your water provider encourages you to get to know your local water source so together we can protect and preserve it. The investments we make as a community to protect our water source now ensure we have a sustainable drinking water supply for the future. Visit drinktap.org to learn more. This message is brought to you by the American Water Works Association and your local water provider.
BGSU women's basketball heads to Pittsburgh to finish off non-conference play against the Duquesne Dukes on Saturday, December 21st. Catch Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Caden Knapp at 11:45 a.m. for pregame and noon for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
BGSU Women's Track and Field hosts the Falcon Early Bird Open on Friday, January 10th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a post-game recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Every year, millions of Americans use opioids to manage pain, and reliance on opioids has led to the worst drug crisis in American history. That's why the CDC recommends safer alternatives like physical therapy to manage pain. Physical therapists treat pain through movement, hands-on care, and patient education. No warning labels required. When it comes to your health, you have a choice. Choose physical therapy. Visit moveforwardpt.com to find a physical therapist in your area.
BGSU Women's Swim and Dive takes on Simon Fraser for the second of two matchups at the Miami Country Day Aquatic Center in Miami Shores, Florida on Sunday, January 5th at 11 a.m. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a recap of the event at bgfalconmedia.com.
When someone hears the words, "You have cancer," it's one of the darkest moments in their life. Light the Night brings light to the darkness of cancer by uniting survivors, patients, and supporters in the cause to end cancer. We form a community of hope, raising funds in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. The discoveries made by LLS-supported research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. When we walk, cancer runs. Join the movement to end cancer today. Visit us at lightthenight.org.
BGSU Hockey plays the second game of a weekend series in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan against the Lake Superior State Lakers on Saturday, January 4th. Catch Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Welcome back to the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center. Bowling Green and Minnesota State in the second game of their two-game series this weekend in the CCHA. The Mavericks lead 2-1 over the Falcons right now. A pretty decent second period for Bowling Green, but a couple of opportunities not capitalized on by the Falcons. We'll unpack that in a second. Campbell Psychos had the tilting goal for Minnesota State, 11:15 into that second period, assisted by Josh Grohl and Ryan Pitlick on a slap shot way out from the far side boards here in the O zone of Minnesota State. Filled the goal between the first and the second power play for Bowling Green. Let's talk about the power play for a second. The first power play on a penalty by Rhett Pitlick. That was assessed for 2. The Falcons not able to capitalize on that one. The next one to Luciano Wilson. Falcons also not able to capitalize on that one. And then Brian Carabas with the one that will be served out. 53 seconds left in the third period when we start it, and the Falcons have yet to score on that one. So that's 2 opportunities that the Falcons have left on the table, and against one of the better teams in the CCHA and one of the better teams in the nation as well. They can't be doing that. You have to be scoring when you're given the man advantage, at least one of those first 2. The power play percentage on the season is .220, which isn't the best. It isn't the worst in the CCHA either. It's about middle of the road, but you're going to have to get one to tie this game up on the Brian Carabas penalty. That'll be served out for 53 seconds. You got to come out with a vengeance. I would predict that we're going to see 4 forwards on the ice to start for Bowling Green because the faceoff will be in the center. Even chance they come up with puck possession, and they need to get one, and they need to get one pretty quick in this third period to even up with Minnesota State. Bowling Green currently leads in shots on goal, 14-11. Total shots, 36-25. So in total shots, they're doing what Willie likes to do, and en masse, they're beating Minnesota State and that realm of the game. Sternberg, O'Hara, Ben Duran, and Tommy Passanen all lead with 4 total shots, while Ben Duran leads in 3 shots on goal. He has the goal in this game as well, the third of his career, of his season, assisted by Quinn Emerson and Ryan O'Hara, and the shots on goal spread throughout the rest of the Falcons. The Bowling Green also leads in faceoffs, 17-12, which is the main reason they're having a lot more success today than they did yesterday. Ethan Scardina back in the lineup alone. That's 6 wins and only 2 losses in the game. Ville Imonen, also a good centerman for faceoffs. 6 faceoffs, 4 wins, 2 losses. 2-2 for Jaden Grant, 2 for 4 for Ben Duran. He hasn't been that great on faceoffs, so I doubt on this power play he'll be in the wheel for Bowling Green. And then Ryan O'Hara is 2 for 2 as well. Brett Foe is 1-0 on this game. The defense of the Falcons has been pretty good, but not even close to as good as Minnesota State. And Campbell Psychos has a career high 9 total blocks in this game. I don't know if that's an accurate number by the statistician here in Minnesota State and Mankato, but they have 16 total blocks on the game, and even if you subtract the 9, that's still a lot of blocks for Minnesota State to have in this game. A lot of those coming on power plays, the penalties to Luciano Wilson, Brian Carabas, and Rhett Pitlick. A lot of those blocks coming that. The Falcons have 9 of their own, 2 for Ben Wozni and Ben Duran. They've been blocking machines in this game. The D for both of these squads has been very good of the last 2 games. The forecheck of Minnesota State has settled down a little bit. The Falcons have started to outskate them, so Minnesota State's not able to get their 2-man forecheck up, although the Falcons have started to instigate more with their 2-man forecheck, one up a lot and then the other one playing a little bit further back. So they're playing on the full court press. They're playing 2 forecheckers in their O zone, 1 man kind of in the middle guarding the centering pass, and then 2 men on their blue line are a little bit deeper to prevent breakaways. And I think that lineup has looked pretty good for the Falcons in this game. I think it's a very useful one against high skaters in Minnesota State. Guarding the breakaway is very good, and they've been able to do that a pretty good amount today in this game. Again, Ben Duran with the first score of the game, Minnesota State with the next 2, Rhett Pitlick and Campbell Psychos, assisted by Bolson on Pitlick's and Grohl and Pitlick on the second goal. So what do the Falcons need to do going into the third period? Well, they just need to capitalize on this opportunity is the main one. They need to take these 53 seconds and at least turn it into a high amount of momentum, if not turn it into a goal. You need to tie this game up and set the tone for the rest of this third period and come out and hopefully not come away with points in the CCHA, even if they force overtime against the number 13 team in the nation. That would be a win for the Falcons in today's game. Also, just continue playing good defense and not acquiring any penalties. No penalties yet for the Falcons, and they're, as of yesterday, the second most penalized team in the CCHA behind Lake Superior State. So staying off the penalty board has been very good for the Falcons. Not a lot of aggression from the Falcons today, not a lot of physicality, which has worked in their favor a little bit and a lot in this game. But the Falcons scored early in last game. They scored early in this game. They'll try and get another one when we come out of this Mardi Gras intermission report. You are listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but Miss Araceli, she gave me direction.
At age 47, Marco finished his high school diploma.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I'm Ryan O'Hara on the BG hockey team. I got 4 favorite restaurants here. My first one, Frickers, because of the frickin' chicken. My second one, Kermit's, because it's great breakfast food. My third one, The Row. It's great. It stays open late and has great food. And my fourth one is Juniper. It's great to go in the afternoon, and they have a really good name that too.
Are you a fan of the Zig Zone, Falcon Media Sports Network's weekly radio show? While there will be no more airings during winter break, the show will return on January 12th on WBGU 88.1 FM. Also make sure to check bgfalconmedia.com for all BGSU athletics news and updates.
Back here in Mankato, Minnesota, you're listening to the Mardi Gras Intermission Report in the Around the CCHA section of the Mardi Gras Intermission Report. We'll start with the Falcons. Minnesota State on top of Bowling Green 2-1. A score from Ben Duran to open up, and then Rhett Pitlick and Campbell Psychos with the following two, tilting the ice toward Minnesota State, but the Falcons will serve out a 53-second power play to begin this coming third period. Up in Sault Ste. Marie, Lake Superior State has split with Bemidji State. Eric Martin, the first goal of the game by Bemidji State, 3 in a row for the Lakers. Sasha Telegwin completed a hat trick with his third goal. Luke Lewandowski, the fourth goal for Lake Superior State. Kirkland, Irie, and Jackson Judding on the power play in the third period. But Lake Superior State comes away with the win 4-3. So Bemidji and Lake Superior both take 3 points in the CCHA, 3 points toward the point percentage that the CCHA is using in this 2024-2025 season. Ferris State did complete a sweep over Northern Michigan. Caden Galt and Holden Dole, the 2 goals, one in the first, one in the second. Matthew Romer with the final goal for Northern Michigan, but it's a little bit too late. 2-1, Ferris State wins over Northern Michigan in Marquette. Northern Michigan falls down. I believe they only have 2 points total on the season today. And then St. Thomas and Michigan Tech. St. Thomas put a spanking on Michigan Tech today. 4-1 total for Michigan Tech today. It was 3-1 coming out of the second period, and just even strength goal for Cole Miller in the third. Actually, all 4 other goals were scored in the first period. The third period goal scored by Cole Miller was superfluous for St. Thomas. They advanced to 3-9 on the season. Michigan Tech falls back down to 8-4. They each take 3 points in the CCHA, and Augustana and Alaska Fairbanks have yet to start. We'll be all asleep before they complete their game. So that's around the CCHA. 3 points for St. Thomas, 3 points for Fair State, and 3 points for Lake Superior State. I was just given a cookie by the officials here in the Mankato, Minnesota, the Mayo Clinic. So we will step aside again while I eat my cookie and bring you back for the third period of action. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio. Just a minute, please.
Falcon men's basketball returns to the Stroh Center for a matchup with St. Thomas on Saturday, December 21st. Falcon Media Sports Network's Andrew Smith will have the call starting at 1:45 for pregame and 2 p.m. for tip-off on Falcon Radio.
You have the right to know. The right to know about culture. The right to know about the economy. The right to know about technology and to know about sports. You have the right to know about education and politics and the weather. You have the right to know what's happening abroad and in your backyard. But above all else, you have the right to know that this right is under attack, and we must work to protect it. Because in order to be free, we must be informed. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
2-1, Minnesota State over Bowling Green, but they're serving out 53 seconds of superfluous penalty to start this third period. The Falcons out with 3 forwards and 2 defensemen. The faceoff is still won by Bowling Green. They take it back into their D zone and reset. They got 53 seconds to tie this game up. Otherwise, they'll be 0 for 3 on their power play attempts. Crossover into the slot, and it's tipped away by Campbell Psychos. Back out to the blue line, and it escapes past Breck McKinley. Back on this one. Beating him back into the zone is Carabas. Carabas leaves it across, and it'll be a 4-on-3 now for a second here. Ben Duran into the zone, turns it back out to the point. Norris forces it back in. Minnesota State again with the puck, and it's cleared outside the zone and iced once again. Only 15 seconds left in the penalty. The Falcons will barely get a rush out of this. 5 seconds now as they cross the blue line. Pass into Foe. Foe crosses it into the zone, but Kabanoff was left back a little bit, and that will kill off the third penalty of the game for Minnesota State. The Falcons not able to capitalize. This will haunt them later in the game, especially if they lose this one. Or even if they tie it, they could have come away with the win if they only score on one of these. Sternberg gets the puck in the zone, picks it off. Falcons striking right to left on your radio dial in this third period. Still time left for the Falcons to get a game-tying goal, 2-1. Into the center, the Falcons with the puck over the middle. Cross out, just a little bit long for Kabanoff. He'll go back out to the point at Passanen. Passanen with the shot in, deflected away. Crossover into the center! Who is that? Jaden Grant with a goal, tying this game up at 2. His second goal of the 2024-2025 season. Crossing pass from the Falcons on a rebound chance. Was that Kabanoff? Looked to be Matvey Kabanoff with Brett Foe as well. We'll see who the goal is given to. Early in this one, clutch goal from the Falcons to tie this one back up. 18:28 left to play in the third as they decipher who got the assists on that goal. It is Foe and Eric Parker on the goal by Jaden Grant. Santawana sends his shot high. The Falcons keep it in the zone, back around to Martin. Martin's got some space, crossing it over into the center a little bit long. Falcons back out at the blue line. The shot is saved in by Scardina, now clears back around. Pitlick with the pass into the center. A little bit of a streak now for Minnesota State, crossing it all the way in. Being held up is Pitlick. Pitlick looking for a pass into the zone, is blocked by Norris on the pass. Bolson with the puck now. Looking in, shot over, deflected. That one was kicked away by Cole Moore as it caught a body in front. Crossover into the center. Evan Murr with the shot, blocked by Maxwell Martin, giving up the body there on that play. Bolson with the puck behind. Tommy Passanen's turnaround. Bolson still with the puck, out at the point, working into the left wing. Shot goes wide right of the goal. Murr trying to get it back in, and the Falcons should have possession of this one. Passing in, going for a pass. Zach Kranick takes it back into his shot is gloved by Cole Moore. That was Luciano Wilson from a deep chance, and Cole Moore gloves it easily. Again, the goal by Jaden Grant. Assists from Brett Foe and Eric Parker. Even strength, right, coming out of the penalty. At least they got some momentum on it and turned it into a goal. Eric Parker's 3rd assist of the season. Brett Foe's 4th assist of the season. He's up to 7 total points. Outright for 3rd on the team in total point scoring. And Jaden Grant up to 2 points, both in goals on this season. That's his 17th goal in the orange and brown. Shot kicked away by Cole Moore. 2-2 the score now. Minnesota State, Bowling Green, 17 minutes left to play in the 3rd period. Shot in, again saved by Cole Moore. Streaking in is Kranick. He's not going to get there in time before Cole Moore shuts it off. Pass over into the slot, taken away by Bowling Green. Now pass up to Niedermeyer, a little bit long for him. He kicks it into the zone. Ashton, turn around, wears a hit. Taking it away is Wilson. Wilson a forward, a right winger looking for a pass. Back to Ashton. Ashton will pass it back up into the neutral zone. Good stick work taken away by the Falcons. That's Adam Zonka. Zonka into the zone, had a goal yesterday. Backhand chance is off the other stick. Eric Parker, rebound chance, back out to the point. Parker with another shot, and this one goes wide right. Looked like it had a chance there, a little bit of open net. Norris back to Zonka. Zonka looking for a pass across the blue line. Back out to Norris. Norris in deep. Back to Zonka. Zonka. Pass across, way across for the Falcons. Good puck movement for Bowling Green. Out in front. No shot possible. Wilson goes off the back wall. Holds on to this one. It'll clear back into the D zone of the Falcons. Minnesota State will go for a change. Bowling Green will settle it down in their own end. Tied up at 2. Under 16 left to play in the 3rd period. Puck will be touched by Tracy as it avoids the icing. I don't know why he touched it. He could have just let it go. Stender with the puck in the neutral zone. Will Hillman gets bullied by a couple of Falcons. He'll just dump it back into the D zone. Psycho's aggressive pass up. Olsen with the shot. Kicked away easily by Cole Moore. Not really testing Cole Moore in this game so much. The 2 goals allowed as Cole Moore covers this one up. 14 saves for Alex Tracy, 13 for Cole Moore, 2 goals allowed apiece. One more shot on goal for Bowling Green than for Minnesota State. Face-offs around the same. Locked tight, Falcons hanging with the number 15 team according to voters, number 13 team according to RPI in the nation. Glove dropped, Sternberg off the half wall. In a neutral zone. Grant up for Foe. Back in for Grant. Grant will go for the puck, not the body. Crossover into the slot, and nobody there. The Falcons will take it outside the zone, hold possession. Pass into Sternberg, near side, ringing it all the way around, but it's stopped on the far side by Isley. Evan Murr, right defender. Shot from beyond the goal line. It'll be gloved and stopped with pressure in his face by Cole Moore. A lot for another face-off with under 15 left to play in the 3rd. Falcons Mavericks, the last game to be going on in the CCHA right now before Augustana starts at 11:07 Eastern Time. This is also the only game this weekend being played in Minnesota. Bemidji State's away. St. Thomas is also away. Augustana is playing on the West Coast, but that's Pacific time. We're in Central right now. Forcing it to the boards. Waters giving a forecheck up into the zone. It'll be an icing against the Falcons. Making sure nobody comes off the bench, but thankfully the Falcons had a change right before they issued their last icing. So another face-off to the right of Cole Moore. Power and Ashton, the defenders. Pitlick, Grohl, and Bolson, the forwards for Minnesota State. Scardina on his behind. Good pass to try and clear it out. Jordan Power back around. Brody Waters looks to clear it outside the zone. Shot, kick, save, knocked down by Grohl. Looking in, Pitlick with this one, and it's gloved out of the air by Cole Moore, who stares down Pitlick, who gave him a shove at the end of that play. I'm surprised nothing more came of that. 16 saves now for Cole Moore, ahead in save percentage over Alex Tracy, the best goaltender statistically in the nation. 8.89 for Cole, 8.75 for Tracy. Finn Williams for the faceoff, a right winger. A little bit of an odd choice in draw. Going against Imonen, and Imonen wins the faceoff to the near side. Niedermeyer dumps it into the zone. Bumped a couple of times, and it'll be another icing. Niedermeyer's confused. He thought he touched it in central. I thought he did too. And it'll be 3 straight icings for the Falcons. Pretty good arena, the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center. A lot of seats, purple seats as well. Probably the same amount of fans that we'd see in a Falcon game in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Maybe a little bit more. Minnesota State is the most attended team in the CCHA. It helps that they played a lot of home games because this is by far the highest capacity of any arena in the conference. Ryan O'Hara puts on a hit, finishes his check beautifully. Didn't turn the puck over, but a great check for Ryan O'Hara, who forces a free. Another big hit from Stjernberg on the near side. Not a lot of hitting coming from the Falcons today. We've seen it in the last couple of minutes and on the last couple of plays as well. Now Duran with a hit, forces the puck free, and the Falcons will finally turn the puck over and hold it behind their own net. 2-man forecheck for Minnesota State, scaring actually 3 men in the O-zone. Tip up the ice. Breakaway chance for the Falcons, but Duran will be the second one there. Minnesota State with the puck off the half wall, looking in. It'll be Hillman that cuts it off. Neutral zone. That's Bergmanis. Bergmanis gets pressed up, looking for an interference penalty, but none coming. I don't think the players got interfered with. Shot in is kicked around right. Trying to wrap it back around is Brendan Olsen, and it's finally shut off. Shoelace save by Cole Moore. He might have got that one with his fingernail, or his toenail, I should say. Trying to wrap it all the way around. It's good communication by Eric Parker, actually, who shouted that in the face of Cole Moore. Told him he's trying to wrap it back around. Yeah, he just got that leg in there. Beautiful play by Cole. 12:51 left to play in the third, 2-2. Adam Isley. 6 goals, 7 assists on the season. Does not have a point yet in this game. He'll go against Jaden Grant in the wheel to the right of Cole Moore. Another one face-off for the Falcons. They're up to 24 to Minnesota State's 14. They haven't lost in a while. I don't believe in this period. Pass out into the center. Kabanoff being chased into the zone. That could have been interference right there, but Bergmanis is going to be the first one there. Press up against the boards. Foe fighting for it as well. Will clear away behind Tracy. Foe still giving a chance. A stick lift there, forcing the puck free. Isley comes and picks it up. Takes it up inside the blue line of the Falcons. Working in, taking it out the far side. That's going to be a tripping against Stjernberg, I believe, who is defending. And that'll be a power play for Minnesota State and a penalty kill for the Falcons. Penalty in yesterday's game that resulted in the 3rd goal for Minnesota State. The Mavericks sit at 2 right now. Tripping is the call against Stjernberg. Minor penalty, 2 minutes Falcon penalty kill. Now the good thing is Ethan Scardina is back in the lineup today, the best forward penalty killer for the Falcons. Parker is on the ice for the Falcons on the penalty kill as well, with Passanen, Niedermeyer also. So a veteran group for Bowling Green on this penalty kill. 1 for 2 yesterday on the power play for Minnesota State. Iced back around. Weird hop off the boards. It'll clear outside the zone. Forecheck for Scardina, taking it all the way back. Fighting with Jordan Power. Power will cut it off. Scardina with a great forecheck there. Didn't surrender anything. He'll go off. Emerson on. Another good penalty killer for Bowling Green. Niedermeyer still on as the forward. Pass out to the point. Minnesota State keeping it inside the zone is Power. Brian Carabas with the puck now, back up to Power at the point. Power at the blue line, working it in toward the center. Pitlick back up to Power, it clears outside the zone as Power pulled his stick off the ice and his eyes off his stick. Pitlick across, shot, Bolson, saved by Cole Moore with a $1:15 left in the power play for Minnesota State. Big one for the Falcons to kill off, keep this game at 2-2 early in this third period. Good cross from Pitlick, the shot from Bolson right in the face of Cole Moore, right into his chest. And an easy save for the sophomore goaltender. Up to 19 saves in this game, 2 goals allowed, above a .900 save percentage. Tracy's still at 14. He won't see action for a while. Face-off won by the Falcons. Beautiful. Iced by Bowling Green. Back up to Tracy. He'll have to stop this one. Forecheck for Grant. Jaden Grant, another defensive forward for the Falcons. Pretty good on the penalty kill. Dumped up. Benincasa wears a hit on the half wall. Back up to Benincasa. Cross all the way into Murr. Murr now takes it near side. Back up to the middle. Luke Ashton's got a wicked wrist shot. And his 6'6" frame as well. Dirty on the power play. Evan Murr kicked away from Duran, but it goes back to Ashton. Ashton at the point. You want to keep him as far away from Cole Moore as possible. Pass over. Good stick work by Ben Duran to keep it in the lane. Cross out. Ashton again looking in. Wrist shot saved by Cole Moore. Goes up into the netting. That was big right there. Ashton's the one you got to keep an eye on. 3 goals on this season, 2 of which coming on the power play. 6'6", 240 freshman. Left-handed shot out of British Columbia. 19 years of age, I should say. Young player for college hockey in the state that it is right now. The same age as myself, actually. Bowling Green still working on their penalty kill. 10:38. Jordan Power with 20 seconds left. Shot saved by Cole Moore. Everybody here in the arena thought that one was filled, but Cole Moore shut it off with his blockers. You could hear that block from all the way up here. Minnesota State is winning in shots on goal now. Ethan Scardino with the puck. Shot saved by Alex Tracy. Left for the rebound. Cole Moore has killed off a power play. Mainly him. Defense as well. Quinn Emerson leaves it up. Offside warning against the Falcons. They'll have to let this puck go. Isley leaves it. Penalty kill for the Falcons. Opportune time. Beautiful penalty kill. Clutch time for the Falcons with 10 minutes left to go in the third period. Pass up, D-zone. Minnesota State takes it between their wheels, getting harsh forecheck from Ryan O'Hara, forces him back around. Stays with him as O'Hara, now picking up as Duran. Into the neutral zone now. Minnesota State beats him, loses control of the puck. Falcons take it away. Pass up from O'Hara, far side. Working in is Duran. Shot goes off the stick, high on the glass. It'll ring all the way back around. Norris slaps it back in the zone. Tracy lost control of the puck with his eyes. Now Minnesota State with a little bit of a breakaway. Dump up back into the zone, but that one was only so that they could get a change. Possessing it. McKinley tied up in the boards. Benincaza's in there as well with what looks to be Stender and Hillman. Back around, Falcons looking to just get it outside of their zone and go for a change themselves as their guys have been on for a minute. Covered up by Cole Moore, and that's how the Falcons will do it. 9 minutes left to play in the third period. Media timeout, 2-2. Falcons just killed off a great penalty and scored the game-tying goal off of Jaden Grant. A minute 35 into this third period. We got 9 left to play. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Falcon Radio.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Falcon Radio.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Falcon Radio 88.1 WBGU HD2 Bowling Green, Ohio.
Bowling Green Hockey kicks off the new year with a road trip to Lake Superior State University to face the Lakers on Friday, January 3rd. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak for the call with pregame starting at 6:45 p.m. only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Tie game here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. We will step aside from hockey and talk about women's basketball for a second as the Falcons just beat Xavier University 78-59 in the Stroh Center. Amy Velasco in the second half really turned it up. I don't think she had a point yet going into halftime. She had 19, the leader for the Falcons with 6 assists and 2 rebounds. Erica Porter had a great game. Great to see her back and getting her feet under her. 17 points, 7 rebounds, and then probably the biggest storyline of the game, and I'm sure talked about a lot by Lucas Kleinmeyer and Kaden Knapp. Lexi Fleming has played her first, I believe, her first game of the season. 9 points, all 3 on 3-point attempts. She was 3 for 4 from the field, all on 3 points. She had a personal foul and an assist as well. Lauren Gherkin had 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. And Janaea Donahue had a good game as well. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. The Falcons go for a face-off in their own end. It's Ethan Scardina, who's been great on the face-off today, 10-3. And you keep wondering, because the Falcons lost the face-off battle yesterday to Minnesota State, whether he was in the lineup, it would have had a different outcome. Puck possession a little bit more. Face-offs definitely would have been won. Finn Williams, this one's a blocker. Low angle shot from Benincasa saves. He takes it all the way back around now, back up to the point. Minnesota State across, a little bit long for Murr. Murr tries to dump it back in the zone. Williams with good stick work comes away with it. At the goal line now, working in for a pass. Scardino with a hit. Back up to the point, back out to Murr, and another glove from Cole Moore as he is racking up these saves. 22 now, and only 2 goals allowed for a .917 save percentage. Minnesota State's taking a lot of shots. They're up to 42 now, within 5 of Bowling Green. 24 shots on goal to the Falcons 17. A lot of those coming on the power play, but nevertheless, 7 more shots on goal than the Falcons, but not a lot of them high quality. I will say that. Josh Grohl and the wheel with Jaden Grant for Bowling Green. Grant has the game-tying goal in this game. Power takes it around across to Ashton. Ashton, wrist shot, saved by Moore. Back out to Ashton again. Ashton near side to Power. Power on the left wing, kicked away by Cole Moore on this one. That one wasn't even going to hit the net. He just wanted to make sure it got away from the rebound chance. Kabanoff into Power. Power with a shot, kicked away beautifully by Cole Moore. That wasn't even that great of a save, but the direction was what got the energy in my voice. Beautiful directional save from the Falcons tender. Josh Grohl, shot, low angle, kicked away. Again, another shot, saved by Cole Moore again. He's been a wall the last couple of minutes. Jaden Grant presses it up against the wall. Falcons look to just get it out of the zone and hopefully get a new shift on. Brett Foe takes it up the near side with a 1-on-3, and the only reason he took it up was to get a new line. Luke Ashton with the puck now. Where's a hit from Duran? Actually loses the puck. But now Minnesota State comes up with it again. Fresh skaters for Bowling Green. Emerson not giving a forecheck. He's camping around the blue line. Looking in, he's the highest Falcon up. Pass up into the zone. The Falcons played 3 men on their own blue line. A little bit more defensive than you've seen from Willie this season. Emerson, pass up to O'Hara. O'Hara to the far side part of the boards. Wheeler knocks it down with his hand. And a hand pass will be called against Mason Wheeler. And the faceoff will, I think, stay in the O zone of Bowling Green. 7:16 left to play in the third period, 2-2. Bowling Green and Minnesota State, they're hanging in there with the number 15 team in the nation. The number 1 team in the CCHA as well. Coming into today, Lake Superior State did get a win, so they might be atop as of this very moment, depending on how this game goes. Imonen loses the faceoff. Wheeler back around to Imonen. Imonen trying to dig it off the far side boards. Pretty big man. Battling in with defensemen as well. 6'3", 205. Could be a defenseman, but he's a forward. Pretty decently defensively, too. The Falcons win the battle for the puck on the boards. Hit from Santawana. Tries to center the puck, but it's taken away by Hillman. Over into the center. Santawana again takes it inside the blue zone. Good stick work. Pushes around to the outside. Wheeler back to Santawana. Good shift for Santawana already. Imonen back out to the point. That's Parker. Parker with a shot in. It goes wide left to the goal. Now streaking in is Passanen. Brian Carabas will have a takeaway. He'll get it like a 1-on-3 against the Falcons. Carabas with the back skate. Now to Parker. Rings it back around. Isley will be the first one there behind Moore. Isley wears a big hit. There's no penalty on that. Sit down. Bowling Green off the half wall in the neutral zone. Pass up off the half wall again. Emerson was ahead of this one. Near side, Duran forces it up instead of taking it back into the D zone. 6 minutes left to play in the third period. Still a tie game. Duran up the near side, working in. Got a little bit held up there by Bergmanis, who got his body in the way before the puck was far. Carabas with the puck now. Back around to Bergmanis. Bergmanis near side, back to Carabas. Carabas takes it up between his own wheels. Pass out to the far side. Good forecheck for Martin, who puts a hit on. This is a forecheck from the Falcons. Turns the puck over. Inside the blue line. Oh, offsides. Blowing a tire was Ben Duran trying to get back on sides, but he couldn't do it in time. 11 more shots on goal for Minnesota State than Bowling Green, but they've been desperate as of late to get some shots on, and that, especially coming out of that power play. Colmore approaching 30 saves, only 2 goals allowed. Alex Tracy with 15 saves, 2 goals allowed. Back in the zone, Martin puts a hit on, tries to force the puck free. Parker still battling for it on the near side boards. Back to the glass, now gets it away. Minnesota State with the puck in through the neutral zone. Dumps it in the zone. Scardino with the puck now. To Parker. Parker gets pinned. Behind Colmore, behind the goal line, back out all the way to the point. Pass across the lane. Kranick with the puck now, back up just long of the blue line. Falcons go for a change. Passanen will have to streak to the far side part to catch Finn Williams, who was open. A hit by the Falcons, kicked away. Good stick work there, but no Falcon into the neutral zone to pick this up. Back around, Pitlick should be the first one there. A slap from Norris to try and clear it out of the D zone, so the Falcons got their change in the offensive end. Now clear over into the center. Josh Grohl with the shot over, rebound chance. Nothing there. Wheeler again, and it is saved by Cole Moore with the glove. Left-handed glove from Cole Moore. A great save. 4:25 left in the third period. 2-2. 30 shots on goal for Minnesota State in this game. Only 17 for Bowling Green. I think that's a little bit inaccurate for the Bowling Green side, but it is true. There's a penalty going against Bowling Green. It's going to be, I think, a slashing against Adam Zonka. We'll get the call here. Yep, slashing against Adam Zonka. That was a penalty. Caught him right across the legs, across the stick as well. And the Falcons will go on the penalty kill with 4:19 left. Bad time for that penalty. Minnesota State just needs to put a goal on and play defense the rest of these 4 minutes. Penalty, or the faceoff won by Bowling Green. Niedermeyer tosses it up. Bowers will be the first one there. Forecheck from Scardina, looking to force it away. Showing off some speed there. Pass into the D zone again. Iced by the Falcons, 2 in a row. Wasting 20 seconds of time already. Minnesota State into the neutral zone. And to Bolson. Bolson working it out at the point. Playing the right winger, playing the D-man. Kicked away by Cole Moore. Barely grazed his blocker on the leg save. Carabas at the far side and iced out again by the Falcons. That one's slow and it'll have to be changed down. It'll only lose steam until it gets to the goal line. Minute 10. Benincasa near side on the power play now, and offsides is the call as a couple of Falcons stood up to let the referee know. That'll waste a little bit more time as there was no offensive drive with those seconds wasted. About a minute, 64 seconds left, and the penalty to Adam Zonka. He is a freshman, and that's a rookie mistake to take one this late in the game. You can't be slashing in a tie game with only 4 minutes left. Waiting on it is Parker, and Parker ices it up into the center. Ashton wears it off his shin and stops the puck dead. Now taking it up is Murr. back around. Ashton is essentially not like a defenseman on the penalty, or the power play, I should say. Evan Murr working it in, right side, crossing, pass across, saved by Cole Moore, laying out. What a save by Moore, who knocked that one into the netting. Hopefully they'll show the replay here. And the Mayo Clinic screen. Working it out, pass to the far side, the shot laying out, saved by Cole Moore with the stick. Minnesota State fans were already on their feet after that shot. 38 seconds left, and the man advantage for Minnesota State. Sternberg tries to ice it. Ashton keeps it in. Pass over onto the far side part of the boards on the left. Murr over the center. Glove save by Cole Moore. Reaching out and grabbing this one ahead of the blue paint. Under 30. Oh, what a save. They just showed it again. Maybe the save of the year for Cole Moore. Reaching out, caught it off of the fat part of his stick. Full layout. Face-off won by the Falcons. Niedermeyer with the puck, holding onto it. Now finally ices it with 20 seconds left. And the man advantage for Minnesota State. Huge penalty for the Falcons to kill off if they can get the next 15 seconds over with. Murr across to Ashton. Ashton dumps it in the zone all the way around. O'Hara digs it off into the Falcons again. McKinley back around. Sternberg tries to clear it outside the zone. Still inside the blue. Zonka standing up. Clacking on the ice is Tracy to signify that it's over. Zonka back out on the ice. He'll play defense. O'Hara back around. Zonka will have the puck now. Looking for a pass, but he'll just clear it as he wears a big hit. But clears it up into the boards. Successful penalty kill for the Falcons. A huge one at that. 2 for 2 on the penalty kill today is Bowling Green. 0 for 6 on the power play. No power play scores in any of the 4 goals. Brennan Olsen giving a forecheck. Passing in. Parker still battling for it. Passing in now back in there, putting a hit on Olsen. Olsen is down on the ice. No penalty as he looked like he took a face into the boards, and he's wobbling. That's not good. Over to Tracy. Still a lot of boos going on in Minnesota State, and finally they blow the play dead as Will Hillman is down on the ice. He's having trouble getting back to his feet. He was stumbling. He's got a concussion he can't walk straight. That's not good. And the door is immediately open to go back to the bench as he cannot stay on the blade of his skates. He's being helped off. And you can hear right now the fans are saying that one should be a penalty. To be completely frank, I agree with them. I'm assuming it would be on Passanen or possibly Sternberg if it's true. I am unsure of whether it's a reviewable play or not. And I don't know if it's reviewable. Let's see what they're saying here. Still talking it over, and they're not going to get a penalty. I don't think, at least as of right now. You can't challenge a no call normally, so I would assume this is going to be a differing situation. The boxes aren't opening. All 5 Falcons on the ice. Referee talking with Luke Strand, the head coach of Minnesota State. And they're going to use their challenge on this, maybe. And it's being challenged for a major penalty. And to be completely honest, I think Minnesota State's going to get it. Hoping that Will Hillman's all right. 4th line centerman, plays a lot of time late in these games. That is a pretty big loss for Minnesota State, as I'm sure based on the stumbling and the not being able to keep his edge that he took one to the head. And this should be a quick review for the referees here in the Mayo Clinic Health System Events Center. So I think the Falcons will be on the penalty kill, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of argument from Willie. Still looking at it. Based on the replay, looks like it will be. There's not contact to the head, but the head does hit the board, so I would assume it's going to be at least a minor penalty for boarding, possibly even a 5-minute major. I don't think there's a big scenario here where the Falcons come out of this with even strength. There's only a minute and a half left, and that'll mean if they are able to force an overtime in this 2-2 game, they'll have a 4-on-3. And the 3-on-3 overtime, obviously they don't allow a 3-on-2. One of the helmets is back on for the referee in the box. Still looking on. Rundown of scoring. Ben Duran scored first early in the first period. Pitlick only 20 seconds later scored for Minnesota State. In the second period, Campbell Psychos tilted the ice toward Minnesota State. And in this period, a minute and a half in, Jaden Grant scored the 4th goal. Oh, there's no penalty on the play. Oh my gosh. The fans here are incensed. They didn't show the replay again. I'm hoping they will in a second out of fairness to both squads. It'll be a 5-on-5. Maybe some emotions getting in the way of the judgment here for fans, but I thought it was a penalty, at least a minor. Falcons on the ice, even strength. Getting a little bit of chippy now as the fans are really into this game. A minute and a half left to play. Pass it across off the half wall, back in behind zone. We're finally resuming play here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. Out to center, Duran with the puck. Still unbelievable, quote unquote unbelievable, coming from the crowd here, as Will Hillman got no call on that. Hit on the near side, forces the puck free, passing in. Karabis with a chance. Oh, the crossing play on Moravik. And Moravik is getting held onto. Actually, both of them were getting held onto. That was a Falcon and a Maverick. And the crowd getting loud. Now they're just yelling at everything that's happening on the ice, hoping it's going to be a penalty. In the D zone, Bergmanis with the puck. Up into the neutral zone. Pass up. Pitlick will chase. Into the near side, that's Parker. Parker up, gloved, in the neutral zone. Falcons still trying to come up with the puck. Haven't had an offensive stance in a while. Back into Foe. Foe open, near side, shot saved by Alex Tracy, who shuts the play down by forcing it into the net with 21 seconds left. That was an opportunity and a half for Brett Foe. Perfectly located shot. Tracy just got the shoulder into it for his first save in a while. That's 16 for him, 32 for Cole Moore on the other side of the ice. Both tenders have been great in this game. Both allowed 2 goals. Face-off in the Falcons zone. Must-win face-off if you're Bowling Green. Make sure they can't get an offensive drive out of the last 21.9 seconds. And you're in perfect location to get an offensive stand of your own. Face-off won by Minnesota State. Looking to clear it back down off of the glass into the zone. Stender to Parker. Back over. This one will go into the bench. Hit Ben Wozni in the chest and fall down. 11.7, and the faceoff will be in neutral ice, I assume. No, it will be to the left of Cole Moore. So now a must-win faceoff for Minnesota State if they want to end this thing in regulation. They have won 10 less faceoffs than Bowling Green in this game. Ethan Scardina, the main one, 15-4 wins to losses in this. 5 tied across the board for Minnesota State between Grohl, Isley, and Hillman. Hillman not on the ice anymore. Bolson with a shot, and it's saved by Cole Moore. Only expiring 3 seconds off of the clock here in the third period. They're just going to try and draw and take a shot as soon as they get it. Must-win face-off for the Falcons now in their own end. Force overtime. Take at least a point out of this weekend. And a timeout will be taken by Bowling Green, so we will take it with them. Minute timeout, 2-2 left with only 9 seconds on the board here in period number 3 between the Falcons and the Mavericks. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio.
Standing up for what's right, helping out when things go wrong, seeking the truth and speaking our minds, not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
BGSU men's basketball hits the road to take on the Kansas City Roos on Saturday, December 14th. Check out the preview and recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Five on five for 9 more seconds here. Pitlick in for the draw. Face-off won by Bowling Green, taking it out, wasting some time into neutral ice. 2-1, and O'Hara will cross it to Immonen with 0.6 seconds left on the offsides. So the face-off will be in the neutral zone. 0.6 is not enough time to get a shot and goal out. So we will head into a 3-on-3, 5-minute overtime, even strength. I was half expecting on that draw in the Falcon D zone for Alex Tracy to be out of the net and 6 attackers for Minnesota State. It's a good thing there wasn't, because the Falcons iced it pretty quickly. Neither team's move off the draw, and we will head again to another break. And actually, we'll stick with you through this one. We won't head to another break. We're at overtime here, a 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime. The regulation scoring was tied 2-2. Ben Duran and Jaden Grant for Bowling Green, 1 in the first, 1 in the third. The 2 scores for Minnesota State. Pitlick 20 seconds after Ben Duran's in the first, and then Psycho's the only goal in the second. The Falcons had a power play opportunity early in the third that expired 53 seconds into the third, and then a minute 35 in, still with the momentum that was spurned off of that power play opportunity. Jaden Grant with a goal over the middle on the wrist shot, beat Alex Tracy for the second time today and the third time this weekend, assisted by Brett Foe and Eric Parker. The third line and the first line are the lines that scored, and the line that we expected to be the high-scoring one today. Max Martin, Ethan Scardina, and Brody Waters have not scored so far in this game, as we should give an update on Pick the Stick as well. Lucas Kleinmeier's selection of Ethan Scardina has provided no points. Tyler Kavlitz and Nathan also choose line mates of Scardina, Waters, and Martin. Neither one of them have a goal. I am leading with a half a point for the assist from Brett Foe. That's our Pick the Stick, but we're into the overtime, and it's a dangerous one for the Falcons. It's a 3-on-3, and the defense for Minnesota State is limited a lot, but their skaters are so strong. It's essentially their first 2 lines are all offensive weapons. Pitlick, Grohl, and Bolson on the first. Moravik, Isley, and Karabas on the second. 4 players with double-digit goal scoring. Caden Bolson had a goal yesterday, and he also has he had an assist yesterday. He also has an assist today. He's up to 4 points on the season. Brett Moravik, the other one, and he's got 5 goals and only 1 assist on the season, so a high goal scorer to go along with 4 players in double-digit goals. The Falcons in the last 2 series have forced 2 overtimes. Both of them have gone to shootout, and Bowling Green has won both shootouts. Now they force another overtime. They are guaranteed a point in the CCHA, so if nothing else, they come away from this weekend with a point against the number 15 team in Minnesota State. Pitlick, Grohl, and it looks like Evan Murr on for Minnesota State. O'Hara, Duran, and Parker on for the Falcons. Parker will take it back in, gives it to Duran. Duran weaves it back around to O'Hara. O'Hara with open ice on the near side. Harsh forecheck for Minnesota State. Breaks Pitlick's ankles. Takes it out to the near side, leaving it back to O'Hara. O'Hara near side, working in toward the center, looking for a shot. Good toe drag shot, and it is saved by Alex Tracy, forced away. Back out to the point at Parker. 3-on-3 again. This one clears outside the zone. The Falcons will reset this one. Parker with a push in. Ben Duran is mugged. Now a breakaway. Rhett Pitlick. Oh, that's going to be interference. Shot goes wide right, but that's going to be a penalty against the Falcons as soon as they get this puck back. Draw over into the center. Taking it back around. The goaltender is off. It's a 4-on-3. Karabas with the puck inside. Horrific turn of events for the Falcons. Leaves it back for Evan Murr. Evan Murr looking in. Back to Karabas at the far side. Karabas back out at the blue line at the middle. Back to Murr, just wasting time now. Murr back to Carabas, looking for a shot. Working it in through the middle, back to Murr. Murr looking in, over through, now weaves it back to the right side of the ice. Carabas in through the center, shot saved by Cole Moore. It'll hit the stick of a Falcon, iced down, but they will be on a 4-3 as we are on right now, as Minnesota State will get to add an extra man, and Ryan O'Hara will exit off. Ryan Pitlick had a breakaway, and O'Hara had to interfere with him to make sure that he didn't get the greatest chance of all time off. Grohl, Isley, Pitlick, and Murr on the ice now for Minnesota State. Penalty killing unit of Scardina, Passanen, and Stjernberg, 2 defensemen and a forward. This is probably the best penalty killing unit, maybe in the CCHA, definitely for the Falcons right now. They got to kill off 2 with 3:50 left on the overtime. Josh Grohl over the middle. Pass up to the far side at the far wheel. Looking in. Evan Murr takes it over toward the center, leaves it back for Pitlick. Pitlick over toward the center as well. The lefty leaves it back for a fellow lefty. Grohl, slap shot from Pitlick outside the far wheel. And Rhett Pitlick puts the game away in the second goal. Falcons take a point, but it ends in a power play goal in overtime by Rhett Pitlick from the far side. And they're going to pick up their goaltender as he was left out to dry on that power play. The breakaway for Rhett Pitlick, the hold by Ryan O'Hara proves disastrous for the Falcons as they play a great game but fall to Minnesota State in overtime by a final score of 3-2 for the Mavericks. We will step aside for a few minutes and bring you back and discuss this game. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on Falcon Radio.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
Falcon Hockey returns to Slater Family Ice Arena to face Northern Michigan on Friday, December 13th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Nathan Burkett at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
My name is Bobby. I'm a veteran and lost my leg to a roadside bomb. My victory was going from a wheelchair to becoming a weightlifting champion.
I'm Sam. I'm a veteran. My victory was finding a career that I could be proud of.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media's live sports talk show, The Swoop? Well, there will be no more productions over winter break. Episodes will air again every Tuesday beginning on January 28th only on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. Welcome back to the Mayo Clinic Health System Events Center. The Falcons just got swept by the Minnesota State Mavericks, the number 15 team in the nation this weekend in the CCHA, but they were able to take a point in forcing the overtime in today's game against Minnesota State. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. For all BGSU sports news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter and the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel for all of our video content and rebroadcast. The final score of 3-2 in overtime. Minnesota State's game winner coming off Rhett Pitlick on a power play after the hold by Ryan O'Hara. That goal was scored 1:34 into the overtime, assisted by Josh Grohl, his second point of the game, both assists, and Evan Murr, his first point of the game as a defenseman. The first goal scored by Ben Duran The second goal from the Falcons scored by Jaden Grant in the third. Rhett Pitlick scored the first for Minnesota State. Campbell Psycho scored the second, and again, Rhett Pitlick scored the third. Pitlick had a 3-point day with an assist to go along with his 2 goals and the game winner for him. And Alex Tracy again for Minnesota State, 16 saves, 2 goals allowed, only his 3rd game this season with a sub-900 save percentage. Cole Moore rivaled him, and to be completely honest, played better than him. Allowed 1 more goal, but 33 more saves. He was lights out in that 3rd period when he had to be, and he gave the Falcons the best chance at winning this game. The penalties, while low for the Falcons, proved to be disastrous because that Ryan O'Hara penalty in the overtime, you can discuss whether or not it was a good penalty because Rhett Pitlick would have had a free one-on-one with Cole Moore at the end of the game, or in that overtime. He would have had a one-on-one. O'Hara held on to him, forced the penalty instead of allowing the goal to be scored. Whether you think that was a good penalty or not, it proved to be the game loser for the Falcons. Ryan O'Hara's penalty forced the 4-on-3, that extra man on the ice for Minnesota State in a overtime that the Falcons, frankly, had been dominating. They had held possession the entire time until that breakaway from Pitlick, and then Pitlick, fittingly, after being held on to, got the game winner on a slap shot from the far side past the right wheel and beat Cole Moore for the 3rd time in this game. Again, Bowling Green played a very good game, especially defensively. They held the number 15 team in the nation and the number 3 scoring team in the CCHA to only 2 goals in regulation time. They also scored a pretty decent amount compared to their other matchups. 3 goals on the weekend. Adam Zonka the first yesterday, and then the 2 today. Ben Duran his 3rd, and Jaden Grant his 2nd of the season. All the goals scored from the Falcons were on even strength, which is nice to see, but the power plays for the Falcons, they were 0 for 3 today. I believe they were 0 for 2 yesterday as well. So the Falcons just not able to complete on their special teams. They were, however, able to hold off the Minnesota State Lakers on 2 of the opportunities today in regulation and the opportunities yesterday as well, besides 1. So their penalty kill was pretty decent. Their power play, they just really still have to get that going. Their even strength offense looked a lot better. Good passes, good offensive output as well. They were leading in shots on goal for a while up until the penalty taken by Adam Zonka, by Gustav Stjernberg early in that 3rd period that they had to kill off, and they did so pretty handily. Falcon penalty kill today was very good. This game has gone to show how important of a piece Ethan Scardina is, not just because he's the captain, not just because he's the second-line centerman, but because of that face-off ability. 15 face-off wins to only 5 face-off losses. Anytime there was a must-win face-off, Ethan Scardina was in the circle. He played so much today. Even though Ben Duran and Jaden Grant scored goals, a couple of other players scored points, I think Ethan Scardina would be the Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game if I had to choose because of his face-off ability. 15 total possessions for Bowling Green coming out of his face-offs. A lot of those coming in the power play or the penalty kill as well, in which he's one of the main penalty killers, the main forward penalty killer for the Falcons. He's just a fantastic player. Only a goal and an assist on the season, coming off of a suspension on yesterday's game. His 121st game played in the orange and brown. The grad student out of South Surrey, British Columbia, he played great today, showing why he's the player of the game for the Falcon Media Sports Network. Overall player of the game has to be Rhett Pitlick. 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 total points, 6 shots, 4 shots on goal, 1 power play goal, the game-winning goal, 1 block, and a +2 rating as well as his 2 penalty minutes. He did a lot for Minnesota State today. Was one of the he was the game winner for Minnesota State, but he played great after playing not the greatest game yesterday for Minnesota State. That first line of Minnesota State, Pitlick, Grohl, and Bolson had a very good game today, one of the best of their season so far. Pitlick with his 3 points added. He's at 16 total on the season for Minnesota State, the leader in points for the team. Josh Grohl also added 2 points on 2 assists. He's up to 8 assists for 13 total points on the season. And Caden Bolson with his goal yesterday added an assist today. He's up to 4 points on the season as the lower scoring of the 3, but still 4 points. Nothing to sneeze at in a very tough to score conference such as the CCHA. So the Falcons take only 1 point on the weekend against Minnesota State, but it's a series that we saw some very good things. The Falcons defensively played very strong, offensively solved a little bit of their scoring struggles, especially with some not a lot of scoring faces. Ben Duran scores a decent amount, but Jaden Grant's, that's only his second point of the season. And Adam Zonka in yesterday's game, only his second point of the season and the first goal of the season. So nice to see some different players getting active. Shifted up some lines from the Falcons. Some overall good things to see out of Bowling Green, including Cole Moore holding the Minnesota State Mavericks to only 7 goals on the weekend. I know that doesn't sound impressive, but he had 33 saves today, around 20 yesterday. He played great in this series, gave Bowling Green a chance to win at least today's game, some yesterday's game, although he was left out to dry. And Cole Moore played fantastic in this series, just not as good as the opponent across the ice, Alex Tracy. As far as our Pick the Stick goes for the Falcon Media Sports Network, I won the second game in a row with Brett Foe and his 1.5 point. Maxwell Martin, Brody Waters, and Ethan Scardina, the selections of Nathan Burkett, Tyler Kavelitz, and Lucas Kleinmeyer in that order. They were all on the second line, and second line didn't get a score today, but I think that second line is going to stick around. I really liked the way that they played together, and I liked the way Quinn Emerson played on the first line with Duran and O'Hara. So I think that's going to be something to stay, but we will see in the coming week from Bowling Green hockey. So I get my second point in the Pick the Stick, tied with Lucas Kleinmeyer now for 2 total on the season. I know the guys are going to give me a lot of crap for that, but I chose Zadam Zonka yesterday. He got his goal, and I chose Brett Foe today, and he got a 0.5 point for his assist. So congratulations to Ben Korak. Thank you, Ben Korak. Of course, man. So as we step aside, we'll give you the games coming up this weekend or this coming week for Bowling Green. Again, final score here in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center, a 3-2 in favor of Bowling Green. Bowling Green men's basketball and not in favor of Bowling Green, in favor of Minnesota State. Bowling Green men's basketball and Bowling Green women's basketball both won their games today. You can read the recaps on BGFalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN. We'll post about them when they're posted. And in the rebroadcast of both of those games, won by Tyler Kavelitz Artie Abrego and Carter Leonard, and the women's basketball game by Lucas Kleinmeyer and Caden Knapp on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. Coming up, our next Falcon Media Sports Network broadcast is going to be a volleyball game against DePaul in the National Invitational Volleyball Championship Grade 8 edition. It's going to be in Chicago at DePaul University in the McGrath-Phillips Arena on December 9th, which is this coming Monday. I will be on the call, so I got to fly home tomorrow and then immediately get on a bus to go to Chicago, but I'm very happy to do it because volleyball is keeping their season going. It's a win or go home for both of these squads. And DePaul is a team who Bowling Green Volleyball beat earlier in the season in 4 sets. So it's a winnable game for Bowling Green. They'd advance to the Fab Four if they so win, and a chance to play either Virginia or UConn. I will have the call at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on WBGU 88.1 FM. Again, that's 8 p.m. on Monday, December 9th. This coming Monday. That's the next Falcon Media Sports Network broadcast. If they win, they will play later in the week on the 12th, 13th, or 14th against, as I said, Virginia or UConn. The next broadcast after that, as far as I know of, is hockey against Northern Michigan University. Depending on how volleyball goes, I should say, I will have the call on the 13th and the 14th. I believe Nathan Burkett is joining me for one of those games as well. I can't remember which, but they are 7:07 games for both against Northern Michigan University, the worst team in the CCHA, so it should be a good weekend to try some stuff out for BGSU hockey. Again, 7:07 both games. Ben Korak, myself, will be on the call for both. Nathan Burkett will join me for one of them. I forget which, and maybe some other guest Falcon Media Sports Network color guy. That will also be on WBGU 88.1 FM. That's the next hockey game for Bowling Green. Those are the next 2 broadcasts. Volleyball on Monday the 8th at 8 p.m. and hockey the 13th and 14th at 7 p.m. this coming weekend. Thank you for tuning in for this weekend of BGSU hockey from Mankato, Minnesota. I'm Ben Korak with the Falcon Media Sports Network, and you are listening to Falcon Radio, your home for BGSU hockey.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.